What's going on, party people? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. Tonight we're going to be doing a single faction tournament. So what that means is players will pick one of 24 factions here. 24, 25. I've lost track, honestly. And yeah, you play that the entire way through. So a little bit different than, although, yeah, this is more similar to other RTS games in the sense that, oftentimes people just specialize in one faction in, StarCraft and Warcraft and things like that. Normally, at the peak competitive play of Total War, you are going to be playing between 3 and 5 of these factions in a grand final. Yeah, I'm not the host of tonight's tournament. I'm just doing casting. Yeah, we're just doing casting today. Yeah, just a little bit of casting. So I'm going to pull up the tournament here in a second, and we can take a look at the tail of the tape and see who's all signed up. They should be launching the tournament like right about now. The start time was 4:30, and it's 4:31 right now. So I assume the first round of matches are going to be up in a moment. Yes, they are. All right, so we're going to... Oh, I got 2 of my friends playing. All right, we're going to do this game. So let's go ahead and get it. Lobby code, please. So we got Subutai versus Anticity. Oh, that's going to be a fun one. I know Subutai in real life. And Anticity's a homie as well. This is going to be fun. No, I'm not playing tonight. I'm just casting. Correct. Yeah, trying to rest the hands a little bit. The Warcraft 3 was a lot. So I'm just taking a couple days, to chill out a little bit and, have some fun there. All right. So I got the lobby code from Anticity and it is go time. So we're going to find the lobby. So this is round 1 of the tournament. I'll show you guys what that looks like. Here's Anticity's lobby. And there we go. Anticity's there. He's like, I hope I win. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun. How come you quit playing Warhammer? Oh, I didn't quit playing Warhammer at all. We were just invited to a really fun invitational, and Warcraft 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm not going to miss that opportunity. And we had a really good run. It was super fun, man. I had a blast playing in that event. Let me get all the chat pulled up. Sorry, guys. I accidentally closed everything because I'm an idiot. And there we go. You trying to get me to use the Pit Lord in this game, Backseat Counselor? Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay. So, for anybody just joining, this is the first round of the event, and we are going to be having some good, jolly times over here. Yes. Okay, let's look at the tournament, and we're going to switch over and show you guys the tail of the tape. Beware, we don't have dark mode on here, so it's going to be a bit of a jump scare. Desktop capture. And, Anticity, thank you, man. Yeah, it was good. I mean, second place is great. I would have liked to have won, obviously. I didn't do good enough preparation. My build, I was very one-dimensional. That was my problem, right? And when I ran into somebody who had hard studied me, and hard prepped specifically against me, it was kind of like a brick wall. I needed to develop more aggressive early game builds because that was the one weakness I noticed from my opponent in the grand finals was that his early game is good, but it's the best chance to beat him there. Yeah, so I was one-dimensional, which, was the problem. Okay, so let's go here. So here's the tournament tonight. It is a Swiss tournament, so basically you have, these are all the rounds and the opponents and stuff. And once I click Advanced Swiss, it's going to be sending it to the next round. And, the winners of round 1 will play the winners, the other winners, and the losers will play the other losers, and they have a chance to kind of climb back. So it should be quite a bit of fun. Yeah, here's all the rules for the tournament, maps and everything. You can check it out over on TotalTavern.com, which is our Total War Esports website. And here are all the players playing tonight. So we got a pretty sweaty tournament. This is This is a short notice event, right? We got like 20, 30 people playing, which is great. All right. So yeah, if you guys are newer, I know we got a lot of new faces here joining from the Warcraft community. If you guys have any questions, now's a good time. I'll do my best to narrate kind of what's cooking during the game so you guys can see what's going on. But it looks like the first match is going to be between the Empire and the Vampire Counts. So Empire, of course, is the human faction, the quintessential human faction of... Can you explain the entire game? Yeah, when we load into this match, I will give you a beginner's overview of what the battles look like. So essentially how it goes, in Total War Warhammer Competitive, you don't have any base building, okay? There's no base building. Rather, the game gives you a set amount of gold resources. Neither of these players are going to stream tonight, by the way, so I'm going to look at the armies, right? So basically, the game gives you a set amount of gold, which you can see here and here. You have a starting army, which is the army that starts on the battlefield, and the secondary army, the reinforcing army, are reinforcements you call in. So very similar to like Dawn of War, Company of Heroes, things like that. So base building and macro management is a little bit less important than micro on the field, right? So the players will build their armies, and this is the entire roster of the Empire. So you can see everything here, and you can see an associated cost with these units, right? So the Demogryph Knights with Halberds, for example, are going to be costing $1450. A Greatsword costs $850. And as you got more familiar with the game, obviously, you would start to understand how these units interact with one another, and there's a lot of dynamics, a bit of rock, paper, scissors, this unit counters that unit, et cetera, right? So the players will build up their armies. The Vampire Count player, which is the undead in this game, is going to be building up his army as well. And when they start, we load into a battlefield. Now, the battlefield, the two armies are going to be clashing. The goal, obviously, is to crush your opponent and capture the objectives. So there's going to be 3 objectives on every single competitive map. And each objective is going to be giving 1 victory ticket per second towards a victory total of 1,500. So if you have all 3 objectives and your opponent's getting pushed back, then you're going to win quickly. Granted, I would say a large portion of games do end before the objectives even come into play, just because you engage your armies and, go fisticuffs, right? No, Carrot Shell, we're talking to everybody, dude. I've noticed a lot of new people from Twitch coming over to YouTube as well. Yeah, is the official ladder still broken? Yeah, the ladder sucks in this game. The best way to do it is just to play in tournaments and new player tournaments in our communities. Yeah, Pixel. Join our Discord. If you join our Discord, you're going to be able to find opponents, get into events, find practice partners. Well done in the tournament. I missed it. Oh no, I appreciate that, Stainsby. Thank you, man. Yeah, so now we just wait. This is the longest time in Total War. In other RTS games, there's like that build-up phase where there's not a lot going on. This is the equivalent, but they build their armies, and then when the game gets in, it's like a 10 to 15 minute battle usually. And then we go to round 2, and then we go to round 3, and then we go from there. I'm thinking of having like a new player coaching day. I don't know about this week, maybe someday this week, but having a day where we can get people who are brand new to the game and I can I can get on and coach them. It'd be fun. Is there any rank for this game? Yeah, so we don't have like a cool equivalent of like Warcraft 3 Champions. We have the esports website, which myself and a couple developers created, which has a ranking system. So it's like a Walmart version of Warcraft 3 Champions, but it only pulls tournament stuff in. So that's usually how you can gauge somebody's skill, is looking at their tournament performances. Because we have new player tournaments as well. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. Let's have some fun. We're going to be loading into one of our new maps, which is the Norscan Rise, and it's going to be the Empire facing off against the Vampire Counts. Interestingly enough, the undead in this game don't have any range units. They're all melee. I mean, they have magic, which they can shoot at range, but they don't have any... they don't have like Crypt Fiends and, statues and things that can shoot from far away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. If you go to Total Tavern, you can see the top 16 players in the world, and you can look at the leaderboard and the previous performances of players and all that kind of good stuff. All right, guys. So here we are, and after this match, of course, I'll do more kind of standard commentary. Many of you guys are familiar with the game, but we do have a lot of new homies coming in. We want to welcome all our new friends to the Total War community. So you have your initial spawn zone. So as the game begins, you're going to be spawning in your army here and deploying your army in a tactical way, right? So your range units behind your spears and your front line, et cetera, right? So you spawn, deployment phase. There's no fighting during this phase. It's basically just deployment. There's going to be 3 objectives here. We have objective number 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to be fighting a dynamic battle using your mobility, your infantry, and your various units all across the battlefield. Every single objective is going to be yielding 1 victory ticket per second towards the 1,500 you need to win. Now you might be wondering, how do I get the objectives when me and my opponent are fighting over them? Well, every single unit in the game has different capture weight. Infantry are going to be rocking 5 capture weight. Cavalry are going to have 4. Single entities like heroes and lords and wizards and shit like that are going to have 3, etc., etc. So the objectives measure the capture weight of your opponent, their stuff versus your stuff. So yeah, basically you're going to be fighting these little points here. These are reinforcement points. If they have the plus sign, that means it's a Vanguard point, so only units that have the Vanguard special trait are going to be able to spawn in. So ladies and gentlemen, the battle is underway. For the Empire, it's going to be a Spearman front line. These guys don't win any beauty contests, but they can hold. They have very high melee defense. And then when they have the shirtless flagellants of Sigmar. So these guys just get absolutely massacred for their god, but they hit pretty hard and are good at, breaking through chaff units, and they're not going to be running scared from undead units. Archers in the back here from Anticity are going to be very, very excellent at putting pressure on some of the bigger threats the vampire counts can bring to bear. And we do have Balthazar Gelt hiding in the trees. So this is the Lord of the Empire Army. He's a cowardly wizard. He's going to be hiding in the tree line, and he's going to be dropping some magic down. He does have Searing Doom, so just very conservative, hiding in the trees, dropping bombardments where he can. And up on the high ground, we do have a mobile corps for the Empire. The Pistolier Corps, the Rough Riders. These guys are awesome. They can move, they shoot, really good at sticking around the battlefield and causing quite a bit of havoc. And they immediately capture Objective 3, getting the Empire on the board before the Vampire Counts have even got to the objective. So Subutai here, our Vampire Count player, he's one of the best Vampire Count players out there. He's very, very strong. He's going to be using Fate of Buna and Invocation, a healing spell and a damage spell, and he can also raise zombies and raise the dead. The rest of the undead army is going to be zombie-centric, so we got zombies with skeletons, some good troop quality here as well with the Graveguard. Graveguard will dominate pretty much any Empire infantry unit with the exception of greatswords. And in the back, we do have a Necromancer and some Crypt Ghouls. So these guys are hiding in the trees, currently not going to be visible to the Empire army. So these bad boys are going to be sneaking around the flank, looking to maybe get into some of the Empire archers. So out of the gates, this is a very common element. Oh, interesting. On the outside, we did miss this. The Vampire Lord, Manfred von Karstein, did actually cast the damage spell on the Pistoliers and was able to basically break and destroy one unit with a big spell there, the Fate of Buna. So he's able to push them back. The Pistoliers are shooting him, though. They're shooting up at the sky. Vampire Lord is taking some damage. He definitely does not want to be taking this kind of deeps early, but he's going to be committing to the fight, trying to chase back all the Pistoliers, and Anticity is going to be forced to retreat. So the Empire, the humans do have all 3 objectives right now, but the undead are going to be surging forth to try and push them off, and the battle lines will now clash. It's going to be zombies versus human zombies, basically, just shirtless dudes with Friar Tuck haircuts, and yeah, these guys are like fanatics of the Church of Sigmar, and yeah, they're unbreakable, really good at killing zombie units, and the battle lines have now clashed. Zombies are going to be eating some arrows here, the Tai, the Arwar zombie, so the archers are going to be unleashing on them, as the spearmen, the Grundles defenders, no, these are actually the Sigmar sons, Arwar swordsmen, are going to be moving forward to do glorious battle with the Walking Dead. So the Empire front line is definitely going to be favored here out of the gates, but now some of the heavy hitters of the Vampiric Legions are going to be coming in. We do see some Crypt Horrors. Now, these guys are a pretty hard-hitting, monstrous unit. They can stack on top of your infantry very well because they have very high mass, but the archers are a very good counter to them. And, oh, Balthazar Gelt going to be dropping a Searing Doom right here. That's going to be nailing the Graveguard. Beautiful damage right there. And look at the HP of all these units drop. Very, very nice stuff. So out of the gates, Anticity doing very well with his mass archer army. His archers are teeing off, and you're going to see these Crypt Horrors. If you look at the health bar right here, I'll mouse over it. You can see they're going to be losing HP very rapidly to the Empire archers. Archers don't have good armor piercing, but Crypt Horrors only have 30 armor, so things that have low armor are typically vulnerable against like standard archer units. But now we're going to be seeing some pressure coming in from Subutai. He does call in some Black Knights, which are heavy cavalry for the vampire counts. They're shock cavalry, and they're going to be looking to get into the backfield. So we're going to be following their adventure as they surge forth. The Empire Lord just going to get trampled over. He's not really going to take any damage, but he's just going to get punted a little bit. Yeah, he just gets knocked over, and now the archers are going to get it. So Lance is couched for Nagash, and they do get in there, and the archers going to start getting shreked pretty badly. You can see they immediately start taking big damage, but the Empire are going to be responding with a magical bombardment here. Subutai going to be trying to push through it, and the Empire is going to need some heavy cav of their own. Balthazar Gelt cackling in the back, and we do see an Empire Great Cannon called out. So the Empire did call out some heavy artillery in the backfield, but the undead flew their wizard on top of the artillery and summoned the dead on top of the crew, so they're not able to shoot. So what Anticity did is he detached his crew from the artillery and he started running, and now he's using his Pistolier Corps to hunt down the Vampiric Lords. Up in the sky, Manfred von Karstein is getting hunted by the Pistoliers, so they basically just run underneath the Vampire Lord there, and they continue to unleash just hellish salvos of pistol fire, which is very fun. Empire Knight's going to be surging forward. Objectives currently, the Empire's dominating the fight, 3,800 value against 1,500. I would say the Empire's winning most of the engagements. The Crypt Horror units are getting bashed, and now the Empire Heavy Cav, the Empire Knights have gotten into the fray and are doing glorious battle with the Black Knights here. Crypt Horrors moving in. Crypt Horrors are a very good counter against heavy cavalry. They regenerate They, of course, have great armor-piercing values, but the archers, Anticity's just too on point. Every single time the vampire accounts present a pretty big, threat in the front line, Anticity's able to grab his archers. So he's grabbing this unit here, and this unit here. And if you click on an archer unit, you can see it's the red arrow is indicating where it's shooting. So yeah, he's really, really good at making sure he's shooting down the Cryptor units as the Empire continues to just dominate this game. On the backfield, zombies were able to catch the Great Cannon. So that's a really nice catch for Subutai. Might potentially be able to get him back in the game here. If the zombies are able to shamble and get those freaking Great Cannon crew off the battlefield. The Great Cannon is 800 gold, which of course wouldn't be reflected in the gold damage value because they ran off the battlefield instead of being killed. So you have to take those little things into account as well. So up in the middle, the Graveguard are one of the few infantry units for the vampires that are doing well, and they're going to be butchering these flagellants. Graveguard have anti-infantry bonus, and they're also pretty heavily armored. So the flagellants who do not have good armor-piercing values and just have no defensive capabilities really are going to have a pretty horrific time. You can see that this is how one side of the fight is between these units. But the cool thing is flagellants are unbreakable, and they're going to let you kind of do your thing. Manfred going in for the assassination attempt. So it does look like there's a little bit of desperation coming out of the vampire count player here as he's trying to kill the lord of the Empire army. Now, one of the interesting things is when you lose your lord, so the legendary lord or the lord that leads your army, if he dies, basically what's going to be going down is your entire army is going to be taking a leadership penalty, which is really, really bad. It means they're going to run easier, or if you're undead, it means they're going to be crumbling or disintegrating a little bit easier as well. So, big macro look at the battlefield. Oh, sneaky play. Subutai calling in the dogs. So he calls in the Dire Pack, which are a very fast harass unit, and he uses them to steal the high ground objective to try and slow the bleeding, right? Because if he's currently 3-0 on objectives, his opponent's at 900 points right now. If he gets to 1500, he wins. So now all the pressure is on the vampire counts to try and get the objective back. Manfred in all his bald fury, though, not able to get Balthazar Gelt. Demogryph Knights have come in, so these are elite anti-large cavalry of the Empire, and they're going to be moving in, and they're going to be attacking the corpse cart. So the corpse cart's going to be getting attacked. There are some zombies over here. Probably going to be seeing this corpse cart getting critical binding. So undead units in this game, they can't run. But basically what happens is when their leadership goes below 0, they start to take perpetual damage over time. It's like a disintegrating effect. Like their binding to their necromancer has grown weak from the beatings they've taken, and they do start to crumble from there. But in the middle, the Empire Troopers and the Empire Knights are grinding down the last of the undead. A big magical bombardment on the other side. A Searing Doom going to be punching a literal hole in the formation here of the Graveguard, who are in critical binding as well. And it's looking very, very bleak for the vampire counts. We do actually, oh my god, Anticity got the freaking cannon back online as well. All right, so there it is. So the cannon is back online. It's going to be shooting downtown. Cannons are really good at sniping big targets, but also pretty respectable against like cavalry. And yeah, they're going to be shooting from downtown across the board and just wasting into the Cryptors. So the Empire Heavy Cavalry coming in the flank, attacking the Cryptors. The Demogryph Knights over here just buttering absolute bread. The Crypt Ghouls are getting crumbled down. The Necromancer's on death's bed. And the Pistolier Corps is still very, very healthy. So these guys are badass. These Rough Riders do some serious work. So they're going to be lining up their pistol shots, and they're going to be just taking huge pot shots at the Necromancer, who has very little missile mitigation. He does have a little bit of missile resist, but he's going to be having a bad time. Searing Doom activated from the Lord of the Empire, so that's going to be dropping it like it's hot here on the Crypt Ghouls. You can see a big HP damage coming in from the Empire Wizard. And yeah, this is looking to be pretty crushing. So this is a really good teachable moment for you guys, for anybody who's a little bit newer. Hey, Wheelix, thank you for being a member for 4 months. I greatly appreciate that. But when you're so far ahead of your opponent on points, they've been losing the battle the entire time. The Empire, in this case, if they are really desperate, let's say the Empire was kind of losing and it was a little bit cagey, they could pull their entire army just to 1 point and let the vampire counts have the other 2, because they would win by just getting 1 victory ticket per second. And it would make it much harder, because if you consolidate your entire army in one spot, then you're able to just, defend it much easier. Whereas, if you have to spread out and play the field, the vampire counts are in a desperate situation. They would basically need to get all 3 objectives to even have a chance of winning this game. And the Empire certainly has the advantage. Empire Halberdiers and Flagellants fighting in the pits versus the Graveguard. The Ancient Whites, very, very powerful fighters, but the Archers peppering in, doing a lot of work. Zombies are crumbling. The Sternsmen are crumbling down. The Empire has an absolute advantage with mobility 1, 2, 3, 4. Pistoliers are just cackling all the way to the bank. But how is Subutai ninjing the outside objective? A bit of a blunder from Anticity, I think. I think you could park some Pistoliers there and mitigate the capture. But yeah, it looks like the Vampire Counts are going to be stealing Objective 1, which is going to help them back on the board. Up on the high ground, we do see some Free Company Militia. So these are Vanguard deployment units, which means they can reinforce the front lines very quickly. They have cutlasses and they have pistols. So they're kind of like a hybrid melee/shooting unit. Very good against vampiric forces. But they're going to be moving up to steal Objective 3 now that the Vampire Counts aren't guarding it. And that means Anticity is going to be having 2 objectives, and the Empire probably going to be securing victory. Now, Historically, in my experience, unless you're a very, very practiced Vampire Count player who's been playing a ton, this matchup, I think, is Empire favored. I think the humans do pretty good here. Granted, Vampire Counts are a top 4 faction right now, so Vampire Counts are sitting at a 60% win rate. So they're doing very, very well. Hey, Rithon, appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, I'm glad you enjoyed all of it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, and the Empire looks like their cavalry are just sweeping up the chaff here. Crypt Ghouls getting run down by the Giga Chad Demogryph Knights as well as some of the Knights of Sigmar, so the Empire Knights doing huge work here. Undead trying to call in some Cairn Race, which isn't a bad tech against cavalry. So these guys are ethereal units, which means they take barely any damage from physical attacks, but units that have the magic damage attribute can kill them rather quickly. So they're good against like these kind of cav units. They also have a really cool ability called Frostbite, which means when they hit you, they slow you down. So you can see the Demogryph Knight is very, very slow right now. And actually a lot of these very expensive elite cavalry of the Empire are being chopped up by these Ghost Knights here. And it looks like the Wizard of the Empire are going to be using some sort of a spell here. Yeah, Fate of Una activated from Manfred von Baldstein. So this is the Lord... Yeah, Spirit Walkers. Exactly. Yeah, Spirit Walkers for all of you guys who are a little bit newer. But the Vampires do push back the Imperial Cavalry here, and the Cav are going to pull back. But at this point, it's just a little too late, right? The Empire has the high ground objective. It looks like the Vampires are making a desperate play to try and get this back by sending some Crypt Ghouls up here. So the Angry Smeagol's. These are the ghouls. These are ghouls in this game, yes. So they're going to be sprinting up, but the Free Company Militia will hold them for long enough. And currently, as it stands, Anticity has 431 points, which means he only needs like 30 seconds to win this game. So the Vampire Counts would literally have to capture all 3 of the objectives in the next 30 seconds, even less than that now, 25 seconds to win the game. Vampires here getting crumbled. The might of Sigmar is upon us, and we do see the Pistoliers and the Empire Heavy Cavalry just zerging the Vampires. And even though the Vampires have some decent units here, look at the value difference. 12,000 gold value for the Empire, 7.4 for the Vampire Counts, which means the Empire just did so much damage to the Vampire Counts over the game, had better trading with units, that they were able to just cackle on the objectives. So now what's another cool thing about Total War is after a battle, much like you can go watch the replay if you want to and study it, just like Warcraft, but you can also look at the gold damage value of all your units and see what performed. So the games can get chaotic, so it could be a little bit tricky to deduce this information. But here you can be like, okay, this unit, this Flagellant, cost 600 gold, and he got about 582 value back, which is good considering he's like a holding piece. Pistoliers, you could look at the value of the reinforcements and see how everything did. So you can evaluate your army and go from there. So that was round 1 of tonight's Swiss tournament. It's going to be a 4-round tournament. After 4 rounds, the individuals who have the top 4 best scores are going to be advancing into the semifinals and the grand finals. Yeah, fun game. Fun match for sure. Fun match indeed. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. We're kind of doing commentary a little bit more towards with newer players in mind, yes. Because there's been a lot of new people coming in on both YouTube and Twitch who are new. So yeah, man, it's good. And you gotta keep the community growing. You know, you got to do it. So yeah, who is the equivalent of the Dreadlord in this game? Probably the closest equivalent to a Dreadlord would not be an undead unit, but a demon unit. So probably like an undivided demon prince would be your best bet. Yeah, he's probably the closest. So let's go. I'll show you guys the undivided demon prince real quick. Yeah, here he is. Yeah, Red Olgor is because the demon prince, Red Olgor is too bloodthirsty. Although, I mean, maybe. I always love the tutorial-based commentary. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. So we have a little bit of time before. Oh, Be'lakor. Oh shit, yeah, Be'lakor. Okay, yeah. Let me go show Be'lakor real quick. Yeah. Any lord or mage with good wind spell or nukes? Oh, so many. Holy shit. You want to see some crazy nuking? Okay, let me show you the Dreadlord equivalent of this game. Unfortunately, he's not very good, and he's considered off meta, but I guess that's the same thing as Warcraft, right? People are like saying that the what's it called is okay, there he is here. Perfect. He's super cool looking, this guy though. You did a stream with Red Olgor. Did you win the tournament? Yeah, did you win it? Is there a tournament mode where only surviving units will continue to the next match? You could do that. But, yeah, that's not like a format that's very synergistic. Shambo, thank you for subscribing on Prime, man. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome, friends and family all across the realm. I'd rather go back to Skaven and Bretonnia than use them again. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So this is the equivalent of the Dreadlord in this game. His name is Be'lakor. He's like the Dark Master. He's like a scary demon prince of Chaos Undivided. An incredibly good fighter, but also a very good wizard as well. He uses shadow magic. So let me. I don't know what kind of an army is on the other side. Actually, I just loaded in. He can fly too, which is really cool. So yeah, he can do some cool shit. Okay, yeah, obviously you can't beat all these units, but what we can do is we can land here and then we can cast like a little shadow magic. So we're going to do a Pit of Shades, check this shit out. So he lands and then he's going to be casting a vortex here, which is going to just drain all these guys. So check this shit out. See? He summons like a giant vortex and it starts ripping apart everything on the ground. He's a crazy cool fighter for sure. So he's the equivalent of like of a Dreadlord. That's very heavy metal. Yeah. The thing about him is he's very, very expensive. So units in this game are often judged by cost effectiveness, right? So in this case, you know, you can. What's really cool about Lords and Heroes is like you can contour their abilities. So these are all the base abilities he comes with. So you can window shop. You could be like, okay, I just want this ability in this matchup, and then I want this item and this ability here. So you can like customize your Lords and Heroes for the battle. Why can he fly but Dreadlord can't? I know the Dreadlord has wings. He should be able to fly. That should be his ult. He should get flying wings or something. But yeah, so let's check on the tournament, see how we're looking. I don't want to be missing the next round. Okay, yes, good. And we're going to head over to the tournament real quick and see. So yeah, this is the esports website we made. This is Total Tavern. So players are reporting their scores, and when they report scores, it goes into the data here. So you can click on stats, and you can see the win rates for every single faction. So yeah, obviously it's much harder to balance this game considering there's 24 playable factions. But yeah, it's fun. Like every faction's viable. Every faction can win a tournament, like every single one, which is really impressive actually. But what you just saw was the vampire counts facing off against this faction right here with a 60% win rate, which is pretty nuts, facing off against Empire. Empire has a 47% win rate in tournaments, but Empire's win rate against vampire counts is actually currently pretty good. Only 10 games played, but it's still, you know, a little bit of data to draw from, right? Okay. And let's get back to the tournament here and see how we're looking. You can also see the top 16. So if you want to go here, you can see the top 16 players in the world. And much like on Warcraft 3 Champions, you unlock avatars. As you win games, you unlock avatars for the factions that you've won with and everything. So yeah, it's very fun. It's very, very fun stuff. All right, so let's go back to the tournament here. The Thunderbarge does not need to be banned in Domination Mode. Domination Mode doesn't deal with as much cheese because you don't need player-made rules, and the objectives keep everybody honest. That's why it's the competitive game mode for Total War. So let's see. How are we looking here? So still a couple players to finish. Very standard in these tournaments is to have 45-minute rounds. Considering lag and communicating with your opponent, typically a round will take about 30 to 45 minutes. We're just approaching the 30-minute mark, so pretty much all these matches will probably be finishing soon. So here's Subutai versus Anticity, and once the host of the tournament is ready, they just advance it, and then it pairs the winners together, and here's the score. At the end of 4 rounds, you're going to be able to see who are the big dogs and all that sort of good stuff. So who's my least favorite race to play? Probably my least favorite race to play is probably Grand Cathay. I really don't like playing them. Yeah. Did you see the new AoE 4 domination mode? I didn't. No. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Yeah. Are you still going to be covering AoE 4? Yes, I do plan on it, actually. So, hey, Bomb and Vocturn, thank you guys. Man, we got a bunch of new subscribers on Twitch. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate that. So, I have a really fun plan for next week. So let me look at the dates real quick. So on Saturday, we have the grand finals. We have the most competitive event for this game this coming Saturday. How good do you rate Skaven? Skaven are on the lower end of the spectrum, Harvey, but they're pretty good. I mean, maybe that's an exaggeration. They're good. Pretty good is maybe not accurate, but they're a solid faction. They can perform and win tournaments, yeah. Skaven are incredibly hard to play, so let me show you why. So if you look at Skaven units, like let's look at Norska, for example, okay? So Norska's cheapest infantry unit has 60 base leadership, okay? And then if we go look at some of the Haggard clan rats, they have a base leadership of 45, which means the Skaven units are always running and panicking and like breaking formation. So you have to be really good at micro. They're a very high APM faction that you need to just be like, because units will break and then they'll come back. They'll rally, right? So you have to like chase them down and bring them back into the field. So it's not easy. That's pretty fun, Storm. Yeah. All right, so should be getting going in the next round. Let me refresh and see how we're looking here. Refresh the brackets. Yeah, one match still to finish. Abdelzerak versus Arno, and then we're in round 2. Yeah, so I have a fun plan for next week. There's so much stuff I have on the horizon, guys. It's gonna be great. So this weekend we have okay. If the Viper were to play this game, I personally think he would be an Empire player. Yeah. So the human faction, is a very high skill faction. I think they require a lot of micro and a lot of really good decision making. They also have really good skirmishing and poke and great magic. I think Viper would actually play the Empire. Yeah. Yeah, I think he would, especially considering he comes from Age of Empires. Like this faction is based on the Holy Roman Empire of Central Europe. So you have the Launchnecht, you have a lot of the similar influences like early Renaissance powder technology. I think he would. I think Viper would play the Empire. Yeah. Grubby would obviously play the greenskins probably. Yeah, he would play the greenskins. He would play his orcs. They're pretty similar, honestly. You have some pretty powerful. Well, I don't know. Yeah. No red Olgor today. No, not today. Oh, okay. So before my old man brain forgets what I was talking about. Okay, Sing Sing. Here, okay. The question about Sing Sing. Does he gravitate towards like the strongest factions? Because Sing Sing would probably play Slaanesh. Yeah, Slaanesh is like one of the strongest factions in the entire game. They really reward insane micro and are very meta and very strong and very punishing too. I think you would probably play Slaanesh. Yeah, 100%. That would be my guess. He didn't pick humans for the last event, although humans, in my opinion, are the strongest race in Warcraft 3. But I don't know if he's like a meta chaser kind of guy or if he kind of plays avant-garde. Yeah, he said he wasn't assigned. He would have just randomed. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Okay, so what we got planned next week? So next week, we're going to be doing a RTS week, which is going to be very, very fun. So we are going to be every day, Monday through Friday, we're going to do a different RTS game. Okay, so we're going to have Warhammer, we're going to have Age of Empires, we're going to have Warcraft 3, and then we are going to we're going to be doing Tempest Rising and Company of Heroes also, and maybe mixing in some other ones as well. Yeah. And they're going to be not just me playing, they're going to be like fun show match type stuff. So for Warcraft, I'm going to try and get some really high level players to show match it. In Age of Empires, we're going to do an FFA tournament. So it's going to be a fun week of like showcase matches and fun events and things like that. So it'll be RTS week. Very, very hyped for that. Okay, I think the next rounds should be about ready by now. Oh man, how are those guys taking? Some people take way too long to build their armies. Should I give this game a go? I will. Yeah, old mate dad, if you're interested, man, I can hit me up in Discord. It's a really, really fun game, dude. It's great. Yeah, the competitive game mode. I don't know if you checked it out, but we just finished a match. We're gonna start another one in the next 5 minutes if you want to see what it looks like. We're just waiting because we're casting a tournament tonight, so there's some downtime in between. Yeah, but no, dude. Hit me up if you want to play Old Mate Dad. I would love to get some. I would love to get some players from outside of Warhammer and get them in. Yeah, we could do Age of Mythology next week. 100%. I love Warhammer and Total War, but online play was so haggard, the opponent lagging. Yeah, it's not within our community. Like we have very, very little lag in our tournaments. Very little. Yeah. The multiplayer is the best part of this game, honestly, in my opinion. Obviously, it's really, really good. Yeah. I have a bunch of cool replays I could show you guys in between too. Some good matches. High Elves versus Ogre Kingdoms. It's a bummer the deal. Yeah, my biggest gripe with this game. I'll have a go. I play most RTS. Yeah, hit me up in Discord, old mate dad. I'll set you up with some stuff. Yeah. I'll set you up. Yeah, so my advice is getting into this game. The biggest obstacle is obviously, yeah, the competitive game mode is domination, by the way. It's this one right here when you're in multiplayer. Is like, having all the DLCs for all the factions is tricky, but what I recommend doing is pick like 2 factions or 3 factions you like and just get those ones. Like honestly, if you get Tomb Kings, which are like undead Egyptians, and you get like vampire, that's actually pretty cost effective. It won't cost you more than like what? How much are the DLCs? Like $7-10, something like that. You can just get 3 factions and specialize in those. It's the most cost effective way, and that allows you to compete in tournaments too. The 13th Warrior, thank you for subscribing on Twitch as well. Just popped in to throw this OC on YouTube. Hey, 13th Warrior, I appreciate that. I love that. I love the 13th Warrior movie. When I was a kid, the scene in the 13th Warrior when the frickin' line of fire is coming down from the hills, and then that was so intense. Remember when the mountain warriors were like, I forget what they're called, but they're coming down. It's based on a book called Eater of the Dead by Michael Crichton, actually. So freaking good. High Elves are kind of hard to play, honestly. This game has a lot of DLC, yeah. So what I recommend to you, if you want to play multiplayer, get the base game, and then just find one faction you like and just play in single faction tournaments. Any of you guys who are newer can hit me up, and anybody in general can hit me up in Discord, and I can answer questions about competitive and like give you advice and yeah, all that stuff. Okay, so we have another round, so we're gonna do okay, so tournament round 2 is live. So let's look at the tourney. So these are all the matches for round 2 right here. We're gonna do let's see, Tax Speed Enjoyer versus Silvos could be fun. Outer Region versus Sampo. You guys want to see one of the sweatier players out there? Let me go cast his game. All right. So I'm gonna message him, get the lobby code, and where are we? So Outer Region, lobby code, please, and we're gonna jump into round 2. Yeah, Warhammer 1 through 3 pack for $26. That's a pretty good deal, actually. Is that true? Really? You can get all 3 games for $26? Holy shit. Pretty crazy. All right, so we're going to join in. So we find the game, and then this game does have a spectator feature, much like Warcraft. So we get in, and now the players are going to be assembling their armies. So oftentimes I don't look at them while they assemble their armies, because the problem being is that if one of the other players is watching the stream, they can see their opponent's build. So like I said, there's no base building. There's none of that in this game. It's a battle simulator, basically. You get 2 big armies and you're fighting over a battlefield. So just imagine like Warcraft, if they gave you 5,000 gold, you assemble your army and you assemble your heroes and then you just fight. Like in the battles, the game is decided by your fight rather than like the base building and macro and things like that. So obviously this is a regiment-based game, so it's not individual units. There's like regiments of like 90 units or 150 units, depending on what it is. Yeah, so that's that. Luke, I don't know, man. It's all, that's the eye of the beholder right there, man. It's the eye of the beholder. Yes. Thoughts on the idea of Skaven equivalent being added to 40k? I wouldn't have any problem, like some weird Undercity rats. So this is going to be a battle between Kislev and the High Elves. So High Elves are based on Tolkien elves, like Lothlorien and First Age elves from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, very cool. Atlantean civilization, kind of like Lost Civilization, Tolkien elves. And Kislev is just basically fantasy Slavic people. So you have like they ride bears, they drink vodka, they're very Cossack inspired, Polish, Ukrainian, Russian, like that whole kind of sphere is basically them. So you get Slavic mythology mixed with Slavic warrior culture, which is very, very fun. Yeah, very, very fun. So the players are building the armies. Here's all the maps. You can see all the maps that you have to choose from. Each map drastically changes the meta. So your build is going to be different for every single map that you're playing on, which is very, very fun. So cool. So now we're just waiting for Kislev and the High Elves to get their business going, and we will carry on our wayward son and have some fun. The bears drink vodka too. I don't know about that. You'd have to ask them. Norska's pretty good faction, actually. Norska's very strong. Yeah, they're a competitive faction. Even as somebody that knows the game, I love Turn's explanation. So many cool little details. I'm glad to help, man. They took all of Eastern Europe and mashed them together. Yeah, basically, yeah. They did. So players build their armies now, and then we load in. Battles in this game take anywhere between, if somebody gets absolutely crushed, it's usually like 8 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. But if it's a normal, even contested match, it's going to be 15 minutes on average, give or take, I would say. Yeah, 15 minutes. So when we load in, we'll start giving you guys the old commentary, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Let the good times roll. Is there a monkey faction? Yeah, Norska is the closest. They're basically cavemen. No, Norska is based on Scandinavian. They have Scandinavian cultural influences to an extent, but they're obviously frozen northern raiders, Viking influenced. Yeah. It's fun. How sweaty are we talking? Desert? It's pretty sweaty. Yeah, I don't know about the skill level of the Kislev player. So the player who's playing Kislev, but Outer Region, the guy on the bottom of the 2 players on the left-hand side, he's one of the top players in the world. He's always like top 8 in the world. He hasn't won a major yet, but he's contended and he's come very close. He's extremely good. Yeah. Okay, what would Lakari play? Universal, thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. Welcome. Lakari would probably play one of the elf factions. I feel Lakari would actually play. No, you got to consider the anime element, Frost. I think he would probably play. He might even play High Elves, honestly. Yeah, he might play High Elves or Dark Elves. Lakari would probably be Dark Elves. Yeah, actually. Dark Elves or High Elves, one of the two. I don't think Wood Elves for him. Yeah. My favorite faction is the Empire. The Empire and Chaos Dwarves and Nurgle. Yeah, Dark Elves would probably be his faction, which is a very, very hard faction to play. Can I make my Iron Gut army a reality in this? Yes. Iron Guts are very good. I mean, you can bring 4 of them max, the Iron Gut units. So you could have an army that's comprised mostly of Iron Guts. Like, you can't have only Iron Guts. There's unit caps. So you can't just bring one of the same unit like 50 times. You have to, like, units are usually limited to like 3 or 6, depending on what it is. Yeah. I was watching the stream on my TV and heard the... Yeah. All right, guys. Let's get this party started. Let's have some fun. Loading in, it's going to be the Tsarina Katarine facing off against Tyrion. Oh, that's pretty fun. So let's go ahead and break down the army. So spawning in, this is a greenskin map. I'm like 80% sure that these are giant piles of shit. Because the orcs just like create effigies of them, just the most unga bunga thing in the middle. But again, it's just decorative. And it also is a terrain piece that blocks line of sight and shooting and different things like that. So yeah, pretty fun times. All right, ladies and gentlemen, players loading in, and here we are. It is literally a poop monument. That is orc poop there, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, you guys have to let me know. So looking at the build here of Outer Region. Outer Region, top 8 player in the world, very, very strong. Front line's going to be baseline Spearmen. So Spearmen are one of the cheapest infantry units the High Elves can bring. They have a pretty good stat line. They have high melee defense, they have anti-large, so against big threats and cavalry they can do quite well. Up in the front, we do have a couple Reaver Archers, so the High Elves going to be bringing in some skirmish cavalry. They're going to be poking up and just contesting the battlefield. And what's really cool about these guys is they can let you grab the objectives very quickly. High Elves going to be using a lot of archers in the back, so we got archers, archers, and archers, which is dirt cheap elven archers. The mage is going to be a metal caster with Searing Rust and Searing Doom and Plague of Rust. So Plague of Rust is really cool because normally archers don't do a lot of damage against armored targets, but if you cast a spell on them, it lowers their armor, and then you can focus fire all of your archers on them and get a lot of damage. And it is going to be basically the king of the High Elves, Tyrion. One of the best duelists in the entire game. He has a really unique ability where when he gets very low, he can actually heal himself back up to full health. It's very strong. And looking at the fantasy Slavs here, they're going to be bringing their own skirmish cav. We do have the horse archers, so they're going to be battling the elven archers. The elven archers will be superior to them, but, you know, they can still hold their own. The main battle line is going to be armored Kossars. So armored Kossars are the rank and file infantry of Kislev. They're really tanky, great fighters, will beat the brakes off of spearmen, and they do also have pistols. So these guys can draw their pistols and they can shoot at like flying threats or anything like that, which is pretty good. Archers in the back here, and we do have a Streltsy. Streltsy are a badass unit. So these are a powder unit. And they have axes that are also guns. So they can shoot from downtown pretty effectively, and they also can fight up close if they need to, which is pretty neat. So like a hybrid unit. And the Lord of Kislev is going to be the Tsarina of Kislev, and she's going to be on her sled. So you can see she's in the back right here riding on her sled. It's really good against infantry. So it does have this tooltip here, which indicates anti-infantry bonus, which means when she attacks things that are infantry size, so things that aren't cavalry, whatever, she does a lot of damage. She's also a wizard too. So she's going to be casting a direct damage spell, which basically freezes your opponent, and a blast spell, which is like Carrion Swarm basically. You send it down the line of a bunch of units in your party. So Streltsy, yeah, he looks like he might have forgotten about his Streltsy. I don't know about the experience level of the Kislev player, guys. This could be a pretty horrible mismatch. We'll find out, but a little bit of skirmishing going down here. So the horse archers are bouncing back and forth for Kislev, and they're taking shots at the elven army, and the elves are just returning the favor. But we are going to be seeing the elves for sure win this position because they're moving up infantry. So we see the spearmen with archers support back here. So archers coming up as well, and they're going to be able to screen out the forces of Kislev and force those bad boys back. So that's not going to be great. Now, looking at the objective situation, to win this game, you need to get 1,500 victory tickets. Or you could just beat the shit out of your opponent's army to the point where they can't fight anymore. There's two ways to go about that. But in this case, we do see the two objectives belonging to Kislev. That means they're going to be getting 2 victory tickets per second. On the far side, though, Kislev is going to be relinquishing this objective most likely. The spearmen are going to be able to force them back. Standard archers are usually a really good counter against skirmish cavalry because they just have better range and are going to be just doing way more damage, right? Because these guys are fast and can shoot, but they only have 56 models, whereas this is 90 models shooting with 180 range versus 140 range. So they can't even return the favor. Elves are typically very elite and very expensive. So Kislev looks like it's going to be marching up on the home objective of the High Elves. So we do have 3 objectives, one right here, we have one right here, and we have one on the backside as well. Elves look like they're going to be wrestling the objective from the forces of Kislev's skirmishers. So Kislev is going to be forced back. And now we get some Griffin Legion coming in. So these are heavy shock cav of Kislev. These guys, if they get a big charge against something that isn't a spearman unit, man, they do a hell of a lot of damage. But they're going to be pulling back right now. Understandably, it's not a good choice with all these spearmen nearby. They would probably have trouble finding a good fight. Personally, the strongest play for Kislev would be to move up and threaten the home objective of the High Elves. The High Elves have a really good position here. They have their spearmen guarding objective 1. This is their weakest point of the battlefield. So if the Kislevites move up their mainline army and contest this objective, that'd be very strong. And you notice how the Lord of Kislev is taking a lot of damage right now? He's down to 3,300 HP. That's because the Ice Witch, Tsarina Katarine, is using a spell that basically does direct damage to this character here. So pretty nasty stuff indeed. Think of it like a Death Coil, for sure. All right, so advancing up, the Armored Kossars are going to be coming for the home point. A very, very strong unit. And honestly, looking at the Army of Outer Region, he doesn't really have a lot that's going to be good against the Kossars. We don't see any War Lions or any Chariots or any anti-infantry stuff that'd be very effective here, so a little bit hard to say. But yeah, that is the play. Advance up and blitz this point. That's going to be 100% the correct choice. So reinforcements being called in the back for the Elves. It is going to be the White Lines of Krace. So these guys are badass. They're great weapon units. So they're really, really, really good counter against armored infantry. So if you get these guys against enemy armor with their great axes, they're going to be able to chop them up. They also have a special rule called the Lion Cloak here, which means they have 30% missile resist. So if you shoot them with missiles, they take 30% less damage than a unit that didn't have that ability otherwise would. Yeah, Kislev being a little bit too conservative here, I think. I think they need to move in. We do see some Kislevite archers being called into the back. So these guys are really cool. These are ambusher archers. They are stealth, so your opponent can't see them until they shoot or they get very close. And they also have an ability called Pack Trap. Pack Trap basically can lock something in place for 10 seconds. So if your opponent overextends and doesn't see them, you can ambush them and do very, very good stuff there. So is Kislev going to be advancing, though? They're being very cautious, putting a lot of respect on their opponent's name. But you can see in this game, there's often like a skirmishing phase of the battle where players poke each other and prod before they go full send and send their armies in, right? Because the points aren't that far apart. Currently, we see Kislev with 289 points. And, is there a contested situation? Okay, Kislev is moving up. So they moved up the army. Here they come. So they're going to be hustling up. And now you might be wondering, how do you decide who gets the objective? Well, each unit has its own individual capture weight. Infantry have 5 capture weight, so this is 5 and 10 capture weight here, whereas the Elves only have 5 on the objective with their spearmen. So that means the objective is going to be starting to flip to Kislev here. Elves going to be unleashing a little bit of archer fire from downtown, which won't do too much damage because these units are shielded. They have a silver shield icon, which means 55% of arrows that shoot at them will not connect, which is very, very nice. So are they going to start shooting their pistols? Yes, they are. So they do have hybrid shooting. So they're going to be drawing their pistols and shooting back at the forces of the Elves. A very, very technical game between these two players, as Objective 3 is going to be flipping to the forces of Urson. So now at this point, this whole fight is pointless over here. If you're playing Kislev, you want to reroute your army down this way and reinforce this fight. Your win condition is Objective 2 and Objective 3. Screw this shit over here. The Elves are really entrenched, and that's going to force the Elves to waddle all their shit over here and try and fight, right? But you already have the advantage here. But we do see the Elven archers starting to saturate in, and Tyrion's going to be leading a cavalry charge in. So the Fireborn are going to be charging in behind the Elven King, and that's going to be some damage on those poor archers there. Granted, they do have spears. They're a hybrid spearman / archer unit. But yeah, the Fireborn are very elite cavalry, and now they're going to be surging into the second line, penetrating into the backfield. The Kislevites need to get Streltsy shooting at them, which they do have. All right. So the Streltsy have zeroed in. They have their guns. They're getting a lot of cost-effective powder shooting in here. And the countercharge from the mighty Polish cavalry are going to be coming in. So the Winged Lancers, or the Griffin Legion, close enough. They're going to be moving in to try and clash and keep the Elves from penetrating too far into the back line. We do also see a Snow Leopard being called out. So this is a summon unit. Kislev can summon these things. They're designed to rip apart cavalry units. It's like a giant Snow Leopard beast, and it is going to be attacking the Elven King as the Fireborn are forced back. So on the objective, we do see the Kislevites holding Elven Archers saturating in, getting good damage, but a very contested fight here as the Griffin Legion does move forward. And the Elven Lord is getting a little bit low. The Snow Leopard doing a lot of damage. Remember, if he dies, the entire army is going to be suffering a considerable penalty. So 1,500 here, 1,260 right there. The damage is starting to add up. Remember, this Lord, he gets the heal. The Heart of Avalorn active. So Tyrion has a healing item, which is very, very good. Looking at the value trading, though, Trustby is winning. The Kislevites do seem to be out trading a little bit. Tsarina going to be getting in on her sled and causing quite a bit of havoc in the backfield as she continues running through these units here. Granted, Spearmen are going to be pretty decent at kind of poking her down. We're going to see. She doesn't want to stay in that situation for too long. On the far side, a little bit of skirmishing going down. A nice push here. The horse archer is going to move in, and they're going to be good enough to kill these basic archers. So the archers do get compromised here. Kislev able to get some very, very good value on the far side, wiping out an archer unit. There's going to be some magical response coming in from outer region. So we see the mage right here dropping a bombardment spell, which is going to nuke a lot of HP off these units, and the spearmen coming in to help the archers and keep them from getting killed. So on this side, the elves do seem to have the dominant fight, but the objective actually was stolen by Kislev, and Kislev does have a triple cap right now. But the elves are fighting their way back. Now that the elves have gotten some good quality infantry in, we do see the lion chariots of Krace, as well as the white lions of Krace, the infantry units, and they are able to rout off some of the warriors right here. And now the chariot's going to be swinging across, running into the Streltsy. What a beautiful charge there. That is really clean. A lot of damage. Those Streltsy are going to get absolutely Shadow Realms right there. So close contested game, I'm happy to see this. Tsarina Katerine, though, during all that chaos, is causing some havoc back here. She's doing quite a bit of work. She does have her hero character, the Patriarch, near her, who does provide healing. And her sled is an anti-infantry sled, which does quite a bit of work. But the elves are bullying the Kislevites back here. Like, all the Kislev units are in really bad shape. And now there's a situation where maybe we are going to be seeing the elves make it to the back objective of Kislev and steal this one, depending on how they reinforce. Probably pulling these archers back would be good. Kislev looks like it's going to be losing on the outside here, so the elves were able to win that little skirmish out there, which again, I think is a mistake. Hey, Jawal, thank you for the donation. Thank you for the 49 bucks. I greatly appreciate the donation there, bud. And hopefully you're enjoying this sweaty action. So, objective 1 is going to be going to Kislev. The elves are going to be taking that one. Kislev is up on points, 824 against 588. But the high elves, if they're able to get objective 3 back in a reasonable amount of time, they could still win this. They could win this game by just holding 2 objectives, right? On the backside, we do see the White Lions of Krace chasing down some infantry, and the remnants of the Griffin Legion coming in to try and hammer down the chariots. So they might be able to kill some of these chariot pieces. We're going to have to see how this all goes right here. Chariots are at 1,300 HP, getting very, very beat up. The Wolfhearts, so the hunters, the Axian ambushers, also being run down. And yeah, I think that the elves are slowly starting to take over this game. We do see them getting their home objective back. They got this objective back out here. And now outer region is going to be coming up with like a wrecking ball and probably just stealing the home objective. Some Kislevite warriors here, if somehow they can cheese Tyrion, maybe. Deathfrost activated. We do see the Tsarina running through the White Lions of Krace. Now, even though outer region is up on points, there still is a bit of time for Kislev to try and fight its way back. However, look at the battlefield, right? This is how games can often be decided. Sometimes games aren't decided even by at this point, the objectives don't even really matter. The High Elves have dominated the battlefield pretty hard. We have a Patriarch here, some archers which are being killed by light cavalry and elite infantry. And over here, yeah, Kislev is just dead in the water. So it looks like the Elves have closed out this game. The Elven Prince chasing down the sled. I mean, he's going to be pretty good if he can catch that thing and get it locked in combat. But he's almost dead, too. He's got 900 HP, but very, very high leadership unit. The Elves typically have very good leadership values. They don't break easily. They have low HP pools, but high armor. And yeah, it was a nice comeback. Kind of looked like Kislev was bullying a little bit. But Kislev made a very big mistake of fighting on too many points. They should have just consolidated their forces. Yeah, fighting over there, I think, was a big mistake on Objective 1. So we do see some elite cav come back in. Is Kislev going to be able to find its way back? Now you can see, as the points stand, outer region is getting 3 victory tickets per second, and Kislev is getting absolutely nothing, right? So, I mean, that's basically the clock with which Kislev has to work. So we're going to see Griffin Legion maybe thinking about charging in. They thought about it. Kislev calling in reinforcing infantry. Tsarina Katerine trying to lift the siege on her home objective, running through some of these units. Value on Katerine so far. Let's go ahead and check. On her sled, she is currently sitting at 2,800 value, which is very, very good. She's paid for herself and done great stuff indeed. And the Kislev cav versus the Elven cav. The Elves will probably win this just due to the sheer numbers. Plus the Fireborn, those red armored cavalry do have really good armor piercing values and also an anti-large bonus. So they're going to be cooking pretty comfortably there. There is some hybrid shooting coming in. The armored Kossars putting a little bit of firepower down, as well as the Kossars back here. Some decent shooting, but overall, I think it's going to be game blouses, ladies and gentlemen, as we see all 3 objectives going to outer region and the High Elves. And the High Elves have also passed them in points for the first time in the game. So now it's really, really a hard pressing situation, right? Where, Kislev would have to magically fight their way out of the bad situation, capture all 3 objectives, and hold them, right? 100%. 100%. So the battle is on. Griffin Legion trying to fight back here. But this is basically a situation where, if we were to do an analogy to other RTS games, like Age of Empires, for example, you've lost in the field. You're basically just sitting in your base waiting to die right now, right? So, yeah, that's basically what's cooking here. Griffin Legion do come in, get a nice little charge, so the reinforcing units are there. And that's one of the downsides of fighting in your opponent's area and their side of the map is they get faster reinforcements than you. But there's times, and it's part of the tactical decision making, right? So the Griffin Legion trying to run those guys down. Tsarina a little bit surrounded, doing very, very good, mind you. The elves have so much value lead on them that they're able to just like leave idle units over here to guard that objective and just make sure nobody ninjas that. Because there is a risk, right? If you bring all these units over here, your opponent can call in some units out of the vanguard point and steal the objective very quickly. So there are times to leave units to guard points, and there's times where you don't want to be doing that. So Kislev is kind of farming back on value a little bit. You know, they're getting a little bit of work done here, but the problem is like they're just not going to have enough time. They might be able to get this home objective back. We do see the Griffin Legion. Lance is couched, running in to help the Tsarina, and that's going to fold up this High Elf force. The High Elves here are very, very weak, and Rangers also are terrible against cavalry. They have dual weapons, they're anti-infantry, and they don't have any armor piercing, so they're just going to get absolutely dicked by these heavy shot cavalry. Look at the HP just dropping. Like, literally 60% of their health gone in a couple seconds from the mighty Kislev cav charge right there. So, yeah, as it stands, Outer Region is at 1260. You know, he's way ahead on points. If you're Outer Region, I think you stop aggressing here. You just hunker down on Objective 3. And here's the thing. The Kislevites need a triple cap to win this game. So even though they are a little bit resurgent, pushing their way back, they would need to find a way to get this objective too, which is being guarded by freaking spears and archers and a fair amount of units, which would just not be enough. Really, really good game, though. It's a nice, scrappy match. We do see the Tsarina still rolling strong, sitting at 3,500 value, so she's almost paid for herself twice over. Probably not quite twice over, but yeah, she's doing great work. She also has archers that ride with her, so if you look at the sled, there's like archers on the side who are like shooting at things nearby. It's very, very cool. So continuing to get the job done. Objective number 2 is going to be going to Kislev. And yeah, the elves, though, they only need like 100 points, so they're going to be winning in less than a minute, which is pretty brutal. Yeah, she's riding dirty for sure. Kislev calling it infantry. Where are the infantry going to be going? It looks like they're standing idle, so a bit of a micro-lapse right there. Definitely should send them that way. But yeah, that game was over a while ago. Victory for the High Elves. So here's what High Elves have one of the lowest win rates in the game, but if you have a good player on them, they can still win. Are there mirror matches? Yes, there is. But they're very rare because we have 24 playable factions in this game, so it's pretty uncommon to get mirror matches. It's like a running gag that nobody likes them here. So yeah, there is that. So thank you guys all for joining. It's been fun tonight. Let's look at the value. 3,600 on Tsarina. Streltsy did okay. Yeah. Turin didn't do so hot, but the rest of the Elven army did. Chariot's 1,800 value. Fireborn about 1,300. Yeah, fun times. GG. Well played. Yeah, mirror matches are not fun. Yeah, I know. I felt bad for Lucaria in the Grubby Invitational because he had to play like the High Elf mirror. I was like, oh, it sucks. Yeah. Are there beastmen in the tournament? Probably. I bet you there's a beastman player. Yeah. So taking a look here. Anticity finished his game. Yeah, we just finished ours. This game just finished. So once we finish the 1, 2, 3, yeah, another 5 or 6 matches, which should be coming up on the end of the road. Yeah, we should be good to go. Turn RTS in chat. I can tell, repeat what the tournament is about. How sweaty is it? It's pretty sweaty. Yeah. We have some of the best players in the world playing tonight. So, I mean, if I was a wagering man, probably I would say grand finals will be included. Yeah, Anticity will probably get to the grand finals. I don't know what he's playing, but there's some really, really good players playing tonight. Yeah, really, really good players. All right, so we have some downtime. If you guys just want to chill out, now's a good time for questions as we get ready to go. Subutai is playing as well, yeah, but he lost in round 1, but he's still in it. So this tournament is a Swiss tournament, which means you can lose one round. It doesn't eliminate you. You have a score at the end. So if you get 3 wins and 1 loss, you still have a chance of making top 4. So there's 4 rounds of regulation, and then after that, the players with the top 4 best scores, including tiebreakers, are going to be going to the top 4 playoffs. Yeah, I know. I'm old Professor Pone, though. I forget shit all the time. What's the prize for the tournament? Okay, so let me show you. So when you win a tournament, it sends you to the leaderboard. So it'll give you a leaderboard score win. So let me show you what that looks like here. So it gives you a tournament win. And at the end of like 2 to 3 months, we get a major tournament where we grab the top 16 players in the world. And we have a big playoff where the prize pool is usually around $500. This also leads to, if you're high up on the leaderboard, it leads to invites to official Creative Assembly and Sega tournaments where the prize pool is usually like $2,000, $2,500, et cetera, et cetera. So these are like qualifier tournaments. It earns you a spot in the big tournaments where that's where you then make money. Hey, Cameron, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the kind words. Could you give us a Dowie build versus Dark Elves? Oh, sure. I'm not very good at dwarves, but yeah. So that's how the Total War competitive scene works. Because I used to have prize money for every single tournament. Can you show their countries? Yeah, we can look at the countries. So the number 1 player in the world is Korean. And we have number 2 is a Polish player. We have Anticity is Canadian. Yeah, and you can scroll down and look at all these. We have a lot of Americans, a lot of Central Europeans, Eastern Europeans as well. A lot of really, really great players. Powerful Canada, dude. Canada's making a lot of appearances here. Yeah, Outer Region's Canadian too, the guy we just watched. New to the stream. Yeah. No, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Yeah, we also, my lovely wife, she does some custom gifts for tournaments too, like prizes. Because she's an artist and she does like mixed media, so she can like literally craft mimic chests and like items from the lore in the game. So we do that kind of stuff too sometimes. It really depends. Yeah. If you go to the YouTube channel, I stream on YouTube as well. You can rewind the stream and look. Yeah. Yeah, we used to put cash prize up for every tournament, but I noticed. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of cheating in this game. There's ways to cheat. I think it's mostly been dealt with, but yeah, a lot of the cheaters disappeared when they had to put in a lot of effort to make it to. There's still some lurking, I'm sure, but we do our best to keep it nice and fair. Can you say Oishi's entire name? No, thank you. I don't know what it means, so I'm not going to risk that. The Grimgore. Grimgore is not very good. Okay, you wanted a dwarf build versus Dark Elves? Okay. The hard part is when you ask me for a build, I need to know what map you're playing on, right? So I would probably go with Dwarf Warriors in the fronts. Okay, I'd probably do like 2 of these. And then I would get a couple of Thunderers and maybe 2 Rangers, like a little bit of shooting. That'd be like the core of the army. And then for the Lord, I'd probably do Thoric Ironbrow. And for him, I would bring the Rune of Wrath and Ruin and the Rune of Slowness. Yeah, just very cheap Thoric. And from here, you can mix in maybe a couple Dragon Slayers. They're still very good. I maybe would consider like double Dragon Slayer. And only 700 gold, which is pretty obscene. So 2 of those guys, and we can cut you. And from here, we can get like a Slayer. And one thing that's missing is blasting charges. So let's cut 2 of you guys. We're gonna get you and you. Yeah, like as an opening build like this, because you have answers for the chariots. Rangers can screen out their light armor. You have the Demon Slayers, the characters. You have slowing effects. Yeah, the Thunder Barge is insanely expensive. That thing's such a meme. You guys want to see the Thunder Barge? Yeah. Okay, let me show you what the Thunder Barge looks like real quick. Although, are we close to the next round? Are we getting there? So the Thunder Barge is a dwarvish super weapon, which is absolutely hilarious. This thing costs 3,400 gold. So if you look at the pricing of these various units, it's like 6 or 7 units worth. The Thunder Barge has been nerfed a couple times. Hey, Shoestring says, congrats on the Warcraft 3 performance. It was great to watch. Yeah, I just wish I had done more preparation in terms of having a couple different styles, right? Yeah, because I really was just Dreadlord fast expand every game, but when I played somebody who had done their homework and studied me like a tape, they just knew how to counter my shit, and I didn't have an answer. I should have developed a couple rush builds, aggression builds for the finals. Yeah. All right, so this is the Thunder Barge. This thing's hilarious. It's a giant Doom Blimp, and it has cannons on the front. It has dwarves on top with rifles, and it also drops bombs. Yeah. Sing Sing's day was so cool to follow. Oh, I mean, dude, Sing Sing had like the Batman arc. You remember in Batman when like frickin' he gets like his back broken by Bane? You know, like Bane picks him up and breaks his back, and then he gets like sent to the pits and he recovers and has to like climb out. That was literally Sing Sing. The Viper was Bane and Sing Sing was Batman. 100% the best analogy. All right, so check this out. So the Thunder Barge flies over and it literally just unleashes like salvos of fire and the dwarves on the side, and you can do some really cool shit. Look at it just mowing shit down. It's so cool. And what's really fun is you can do the afterburner. And it gives it like turbo speed for a second, and then it does do damage to it. But if I fly over these orcs right here, yeah, I'm the Joker in the Batman saga for sure. Oh, and look, when you fly, they start dropping bombs on the stuff underneath. It's ridiculous. So the orcs are gonna get it. Oh yeah. Another really fun thing about the Thunder Barges, look at the dwarves. Oh, they're so cool. But it has a giant harpoon, right? So if your opponent has like a big lord, which I don't know where the hell his lord went. Let me see. Where did the goblin lord? Oh, he went invisible with some magic. Okay, goblin shit. There he is. All right. So it has a harpoon on the front. Check this shit out. And yeah, so it's going to line up the harpoon, and it's going to shoot the enemy lord. And it does a lot of damage. It just took like a couple thousand HP off. Yeah, gyrocopters are incredibly good. Extremely meta, very powerful. Lose on day one, feels that match entirely, goes back to steady, comes and beats everybody. Yeah, Sing Sing is freaking Batman, dude. Dude, yeah, he is Batman. It's all about prep time, right? Isn't that Batman's whole gimmick? Is like, oh, does Batman have prep time? You know, Batman without prep time loses to the Viper. But with prep time, he freaking, he can beat everybody. Oh shit! I didn't even think of that. That's like the perfect analogy. Oh, I'm gonna tell him that. If I ever get a chance to talk to him again, I'm gonna say he's the Batman. All right, so we should be ready for round 3 of the tournament. Let's go check real quick. Go to the brackets, and okay, one game to finish. Bob That Builder and Mr. Hill are playing, and when this is done, we're gonna freaking get to the next round. And so far, undefeated players are Anticity, Maximillionaire, Tommy, Attack Speed Enjoyer, and Outer Region. So we have, Outer Region is on High Elves. We have a Vampire count, Empire undefeated. Okay, so a handful of those. Yeah, handful of those. Some Warhammer. Yeah, we got some Warhammer today. It's gonna be fun. Tomorrow we're doing a little bit of Warcraft 3, and then I think I'm going to try Tempest Rising on a little bit later in the week. Also, Dawn of War 2. Professor Pone has been asking me to play some Dawn of War 2, so I think we might jump in old school Dawn of War 2. What's your take on Skaven? Skaven are a very difficult faction to play because they have very low leadership. Yeah, for sure, Spalder. I think that I think my series with Red Panda was my finals for me. That was the one where I put on the best performance. I think that I played the best for myself, at least over the tournament. I was like, when I beat Red Panda, I was like, in my mind, I was like, God, I wish it was a single elimination tournament. Can't this just be the end? If it was single elim, it's just over. But then the Dark Souls music started playing, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. The lower bracket's coming for me. Because in my head, when I won the Panda series, part of my brain thought the tournament was over because it was that was the end of that bracket. Yeah. Maybe some Gojira and Indie Pride for Dawn of War 2 game. Sure, if they want to. I haven't. Is Indie Pride still doing YouTube? I know he takes long breaks. The Red Panda matches had me cheering out loud. They were so good. I think if Red Panda had more time to practice, a month, he would have beaten me. I think our off meta shit just got him off guard. Yeah. Yeah, really fun stuff though. It was super fun. Oh, man, I had so much fun. I want to do something like this for Total War. Not the problem is for Total War we can't do something exactly the same because the ladder system is trash here. You have to play in Discord and organized events mainly. But what I would really like to do is get a couple people together to do a one-day event. So we get 2 folks from outside the community. They come in. They each get assigned a trainer. They train for 3 to 4 hours, and then we just have a fun show match series. I think that would be fun. I know, it's really dumb. It does have a ladder, but it's really bad. It does have one. It just doesn't work really. It doesn't keep track of your elo, or it's just bugged. Yeah. I think if we just did a one-day event, it'd be cool. Yeah. That sounds like a solid idea, though. Yeah. I think a one-day event would be really fun. Yeah. So, we would get, 2 people. They would look at all the factions. They would each choose one, right? And then they would train, and then we could have, a best-of-5 series at the end. Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. Tyler was losing his mind during... Oh, yeah, he casted my games. That was pretty funny. I remember seeing him back in the day, man. It was crazy to see him casting one of the games. I remember when didn't he get banned by Riot? It's a whole Reformation saga. I played Nurgle as one of my best factions. Yeah, I have a Nurgle guide on YouTube. I have a build for every single matchup in Nurgle. So if one of these guys wanted to play Nurgle, I could coach them on Nurgle. Because Nurgle, I'm a Nurgle main. I know every single matchup. Yeah. We should make a website similar to Warcraft 3 Champions. Yeah, how do we do that, right? Because Warcraft 3 Champions is integrated with Warcraft 3 Reforged. Is that possible? Do we have anyone here who has like intimate knowledge of Warcraft 3 Champions? Would we be able to make a website similar to War 3 Champions? You steal the code now. I don't know. Like, how would that work? Like a good functional ladder system with elo? God, that'd be so fun. Imagine that. Imagine that. You borrow the code, yeah. All right, we should be in the next round. Sorry, guys. I was spacing out, chatting with you guys. Okay, so we have another match. Shit, hopefully they haven't started without me. Oh, that would suck. All right, so we're going to do Bob That Builder. Let's do Bob. I like watching Bob games. Okay. All right, Builder. Yo, lobby, code, please. So Bob is a Lizardman main. He plays the lizard people, and he's very, very good at them. So I hope we get to see some dank Lizardman play here. Okay, checking here. One of Grubby's mods to stuff for them. Maybe you can ask. In the beginning, yeah. Ruin again, guys. This is opponent. Okay, sounds good. I'll consider it. You know. Yeah. Do we have the lobby code? I need to go find this match before it's too late. Oh, don't start without me, Anakin. I'm too weak. Okay, we could jump into Outer Regions game, but we already casted one of his matches. Bob is playing against who? Bob That Builder is playing against, looking at the brackets, Jack. Okay. Okay, he's going to give me the lobby code. We're all set. Great. Oh, we were talking about, Low Spalder. We were talking about, I probably mangled your name, by the way. We were talking about Warcraft 3 Champions. Like, just kind of like seeing how the integrations are done and all that kind of stuff, yeah. Because we like this community needs something like that, for sure. This guy's lobby name is Dom Me Daddy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We have a lot of newcomers tournaments. Okay, two of my favorite factions playing here, Chaos Dwarves. I love the Chaos Dwarves. They're basically evil dwarves that are based on Babylonian mythology and kind of like evil industrialist. Yeah, pretty vile. Pretty vile. They use a Patreon and rely on people paying for servers. Yeah. How expensive do you think the servers are to run? Like, if you had to guess. Because like if it's a reasonable amount, I wouldn't mind paying for it out of pocket. But if it's obscene, then yeah, I'd be curious. Okay, so Lizardman versus Chaos Dwarves on Celestial Lake is the map. So direct fire shooting's kind of hard here. Dwarves can still use some of their blunderbusses. Server costs can get gnarly. But I am in fact. Oh, no worries. It's not an urgent thing. I'm just curious. Yeah. A website server $300 a month, something like that. I believe Grubby said depending on the usage, it varies between $200 to $300 to $2,000 a month. Okay, that is pretty expensive for sure. We could probably crowdsource that in the Total War community. I'm sure people would pitch in on like Patreon, like you said. Yeah, pretty fun. 1K a month for Warcraft 3 Champions. Man, that's actually not even that bad of a deal, though. It's pretty cool. All right. So it begins, the greatest battle of our time. You know, I think I'd be more apt. Like, okay, here's the thing, guys. If we get Total War Warhammer 40K, so let's say in the next 3 years, we get Total War Warhammer 40K, which I think is going to be happening, okay? I think that is the time to... If Creative Assembly drops the ball, you know, they drop the ball and they don't do a good ladder system and they just like totally screw the pooch with, you know, just terrible, right? With Warhammer 3. Or Warhammer 40K. That is when I think we step in and do something like that. For now, I think we're fine with Total Tavern in our current system. It's a little bit janky, but, you know, Total War Warhammer probably has like another 2-year lifespan, right? But if they screw up 40K's multiplayer, that's when we step in and take action. Yeah, everything's real time. This is not... Multiplayer in this game is not turn-based at all. It's all real time sweaty strategy. Yeah. 100%. Dude, I love Warcraft 3 Champions. It is so freaking good. I thought I was going to be just playing on Battle.net, but it's the games and the quality of opponents is so much better. Like, you actually improve. On Battle.net, you'll go from like playing like someone one game who just like doesn't know how to make units, and then the next game you're just playing some guy cheesing you with like, you know, it's nothing wrong with cheese, right? But Warcraft 3 Champions is just so vastly superior. Yeah. No, yeah, these are all live. I'm spectating live. I'll play a game for you guys at the end of the stream too. I'll jump on and play a match, and you guys can see what it looks like live and see how sweaty it is. Yeah, Warcraft 3 champions exist at the mercy of Blizzard. Yeah, it's very similar to a lot of the stuff we do. I mean, every content person who makes gaming content and whatnot is at the mercy of the companies who make those games. If they wanted to, they could allow you to not play their games on stream and whatever, right? Unless you like, if you're monetizing it, right? I'm pretty sure you're at the mercy of those companies. So yeah, it's just how it is. That's right. That's right, Frost. Man, Worm 40K. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. Yeah. I think it's going to happen. That's my conspiracy theory. So if we had to, while we wait for this match to start, if I had to guess what the starting factions are going to be, I think number one, it's going to be Ultramarines. So Ultramarines are going to be the starting faction for the Imperium, I think. So they'll be one of the starting factions for sure. Okay, and then next up, I think we're going to be getting Orcs probably. This website's like so haggard to navigate. Oh my god. Yeah, so Space Marines, we get the frickin' where is this here? So okay, yeah, 40,000. I don't think any of these would be. Maybe we would get the. I could see us getting the Astra Militarum or the Imperial Guard for a starting army. Definitely, you need your Space Elves. So Eldar, Orc, Space Marines, Imperial Guard, and probably Chaos Space Marines would be my other guess. Because you need a Chaos Space Marine faction. Probably just going to be Abaddon, right? Like it's the most generic. Well, that's actually kind of a cool starter box. It's got some cool shit in it. A little Demonkin. Yeah, I think it'll be Abaddon, the Despoiler, and like, you know, classic Black Legion and all that kind of stuff. 100%. Oh, we're loading into the game now. All right, perfect timing. That was fun. Fun speculation. Chaos Space Marines pre-order. No, I think they've learned their lesson. I don't think they're that stupid. They wouldn't do that again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. Players are loading in, and we will begin casting and explaining everything as we go. Would you organize a Warhammer tournament like Grubby? Invite new streamers to play? Absolutely, but like the question is who would be interested, you know? Oh, yeah, well, I guess, you know, the prizes weren't even what it was about, really. We didn't even know there was a prize for the tournament until, like, you know, pretty close to it. I would have played in Grubby's tournament for free, honestly. I just love Warcraft 3, and it was so fun. Like, being able to train for something. You know, that's something as you get older, you don't get to do as much. You know, when I was in high school and college, I played sports, and it was like fun having a goal to train towards. Like, okay, I have a 100-meter dash race this weekend. I got the 4x1. Let's train. Let's focus. Let's get intense. You don't get to do that as much as you get older, you know? You just don't. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, taking a look at the armies of the Dowie Tsar. So these are the evil tall hat dwarves. They're going to bring a front line of Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Laborers and a Deathshriek rocket launcher in the back. So this is a rocket launcher. It can shoot up and over. It's really good at killing big single targets, so it's going to be sitting very deep set. The Lord of the Chaos Dwarf army here is going to be Astrogoth Ironhand, an absolute Giga Chad. His legs turn to stone. That's why he has this like little mech suit. But he's a really good fighter as well as a wizard too. We got Hobgoblins, some guns in the back line. So the Infernal Guard Fireglaves are very good against Lizardmen. So these guys, they're hiding amongst the Laborers, but they have halberd guns. So they can shoot down big targets, and if they get attacked by a big target, they also have halberds as well, which is very, very cool. And yeah, that's it. Chaos Dwarf Army, very chaff-centric, going to be moving up. Now, for the dinosaurs on the other side, oh, it's going to be the Coatl. Holy shit. This is such a meme unit. So this thing, it makes everything underneath it invisible. So as it currently stands, the Chaos Dwarves cannot see these units. That's hilarious. 2 Scar veterans, so Velociraptors riding on Velociraptors, going to be moving up. And yeah, these are great anti-large fighters. But the problem is the Chaos Dwarves don't really have anything big for them to fight. The rest of the army is going to be a Battletoad in the back. So it's going to be a Battletoad of Tempest. And that's the lockdown flying units and Apotheosis. But the Chaos Dwarves didn't bring any flying units, so a bit of a bait there. Skink cohorts, and skink cohorts. So very, very chaff-centric units right there. going to be going up to fight, and the objectives are now getting secured. So objective number 1 is going to be going to the dinosaurs, objective 2 to the Chaos Dwarves. First rocket's coming in, and it's a direct hit. A lot of damage on the Coatl, so that is the artillery of the Chaos Dwarves in the backfield, saturating in, getting some nice shots right there. And here comes another rocket in a second. Of course, has a reload time, just doesn't shoot nonstop. But these are heat-seeking rockets. They can be dodged, but it's very, very difficult to dodge it. So there's going to be another rocket coming overhead from the Chaos Dwarves, raining some hot lead on this thing, and that is another direct hit right there. And you can see this thing's already lost 20% of its HP, which feels bad. Now, the Dowies are the dwarves. Dwarves are, the Chaos Dwarves are slavers, so they're going to be sending forward their laborers first, their unpaid interns, and they're going to be getting massacred by the magic of the Slan using a banishment spell. But the dwarf gun line, oh, Chaos Dwarves are so sick. Look at the guns here. So they're going to be sitting behind their laborers with their gun line and keeping the lizards from moving up onto the objective right there, which is beautiful. So yeah, I love the reload animations too. Super cool. So as it currently stands, Chaos Dwarves is going to be getting 2 victory tickets per second towards the 1,500 needed to win. Lizardmen only going to be getting 1. So the dinosaurs need to adjust their tactics. Okay, the big dino is going to be diving. So the Coatl flying straight towards the rocket launcher right here, guys. And it's going to be descending and potentially doing some big work, knocking back some of the defensive goblins and getting some good attacks in there. That's one way to do with it. That is for sure. So the Death Shrieker not going to be doing much. On the other side, the Chaos Dwarves calling in Bull Centaurs, which are anti-large specialists, but they're also being attacked by 2 of the Scar Veterans on the Velociraptors, which is going to be doing some damage as well. Definitely should have left something back here to defend the artillery piece. The artillery piece not in the best position. Granted, the Bull Centaur renders might be able to do some work. We'll have to see. Sitting on the objective here, nothing has really changed. We do see a gun unit and all these laborers, and one of the gun units is going to be diving towards the backfield to try and stabilize all this. So really, really aggressive pressure from the Coatl, as it has almost killed the Death Shrieker, or at least broken its leadership. And the Bull Centaur renders, these are Chaos Dwarf units. They're mutated dwarves who turned into centaurs, basically. And they are, oh, but dude, that one just got steel-chaired by that Velociraptor guy there. They're anti-large specials, so anything that isn't infantry size, they're going to be quite good against. And now the Chaos Dwarf is going to be calling in the Hobgoblin. So the Hobgoblin's coming in to try and help defend the backfield a little bit. Oh, the karate chop there. Down goes the lizard. But the Coatl is a big terror-causing monster. This thing is not a bad fighter. Bull Centaurs are kind of being torn up, and the lizards, wow, doing a backfield dive, so ignoring the super entrenched position of the Chaos Dwarves and basically just beelining it towards the backfield. And this is a big tactical gameplay from Bob That Builder. A lot of newer players would have just bashed their heads against that entrenched position, but he knows maneuver around them, steal their home objective, and get the work done. And look at that, the Bull Centaur render is going to be offline, so the anti-large guardians of the backfield are gone, and now the artillery piece is gone as well. So the Chaos Dwarf artillery piece is going to be taken offline. They're trying to roll it away, but the goblins are also running. And this Coatl thing also casts magical spells. It can cast Chain Lightning and Uranus Thunderbolt there. So brutal start here for the forces of the Dowies. The Chaos Dwarves looking to be in the pits a little bit. And now the Lizardmen have called in their elite anti-infantry killers, the Ripperdactyls. So Ripperdactyls are going to rip apart the Dwarvish infantry here. These dwarves are not going to have a chance. They're also inundated with the chaff units. These are red-crested skinks, which are wielding great weapons, and they're really good against armor as well. So the Serpent God certainly cackling hard, as the Chaos Dwarves seem to be getting folded up a little bit and are really, really having trouble maneuvering with the lizards here. Bob That Builder, of course, one of the better lizard players out in the world. Very, very strong stuff. But in the backfield, will the Chaos Dwarves be able to stabilize their point? Bull Centaurs do come back. They do have the sneaky gets in Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Objective 3 is being very lightly defended, so the Chaos Dwarves were forced to pull their units back here to stabilize the backfield, which means the lizards can come and easily steal Objective 3 if they want to, but we'll have to see how that all unfolds. Dinos have stolen the home objective. We do see the Chaos Dwarf Warriors getting ripped up. The Lord of the Chaos Dwarves trying to put this game on his back. He's hunting down these big threats, and he hits very hard. When he gets in there with his big black hammer of Hashut, he's going to be able to bonk some of them. So he does get into combat there and will provide a little bit of fighting support. The gun line of the Chaos Dwarves, though, is online. We do see the Coatl getting very low, 300 HP on this thing, eating a couple of errant arrows. I don't know if it's going to go down here. We'll have to see. Currently sitting at 166 HP. The Hobgoblin Wolf Rider archers are after him. On the outside, we do see the Black Hammer of Hashut activated. And is this thing going to live? It's got 9 freaking HP. Coatl could get healed if it gets away, so killing this thing is uber important. And the arrows do drag it down. The Coatl has fallen. Down goes the glorious beast. It has fallen. So Chaos Dwarves are actually scrapping back on value a little bit, but do they have the time? Astrogoth Ironhand using the Ash Storm ability, which makes everybody near him weak to fire, basically, which is pretty cool. And the Ripperdactyls do start to get taken apart. The Chaos Dwarves are looking a little bit resurgent here. Yeah, good night, Sweet Prince. You'll be missed. That's right. So moving on up, the Hobgoblins are resurgent, and the Chaos Dwarf Lord has come back here with his unpaid interns to stabilize the situation. And now they're going to be heading up, and the Chaos Dwarves look like they are maybe back on the menu, guys. So objective number 2 is going to be taken by the Chaos Dwarves, and the big problem for the Lizardmen is the fact that these gun units are online. We have 2 very powerful gun units, still very functional here. Gordo Backstabber, so this is a hero character for the Chaos Dwarves. He's like an evil backstabbing hobgoblin who's very treacherous, but kind of fun to see him in action. Very unorthodox. Lizardmen, however, are going to be rotating back across, and they do manage to get objective number 3. So they do manage to steal that from the forces of the Chaos Dwarves. And, obviously the Lizardmen had to play very deep set in the Chaos Dwarf territory, which means they're going to be taking bad trades because of the fast reinforcements for the Chaos Dwarves. But they were able to secure the objective situation. So now the win condition in this game is very, very clear, right? You frickin' hold objective 1 and objective 3 and you just win the game. So Hobgoblins versus Skinks. Both are chaff-centric units. The Hobgoblins are very beat up, though. I mean, normally they would win that fight, but in this case, they're very, very damaged and aren't going to be having a good time. More Hobgoblins are coming, more Chaos Dwarf Warriors as well. And Astrogoth Ironhand is going to be battling it out versus the Skink cohorts. And will the Dowie Czar be able to get an objective back? This is a good call in here. Bull Centaurs will be a good answer against the Coldland Spear Riders. Coldland Spear Riders are heavy cavalry for the forces of the Lizardmen. They're Velociraptors riding Velociraptors, which is pretty hilarious. That's Lizardmen for you. But the Bull Centaurs should be able to hang with them. This is also an S-tier trade here as well. We do see the Red-Crested Skinks getting a nice surround on the Infernal Guard Fireglaves. Infernal Guard are an elite gun unit. They don't want to be tied up in melee with like a shithouse low-tier unit. So they're probably going to end up losing this trade, and we're going to be seeing an expensive gun unit being taken offline by essentially a chaff unit for the Lizardmen. This gun unit costs over 1,000 gold. These guys cost like 500, and they're going to be able to win that. So that's very, very tough as well. Bull Centaurs moving up to fight. Looks like we're going to have Bull Centaurs versus Coldland Spear Riders. So the clash of the cavalry units here. Bull Centaurs will win this, but it's not a terrible trade for the Velociraptor Cav. As you see, some of them do get dragged down by the Bull Centaur boys. I run these guys in tabletop. They're super fun. But yes, Coldland Spear Riders getting folded up pretty bad. Home objective belongs to the Chaos Dwarves, and they're going to be reinforcing that so they don't lose it. So we do see the Hobgoblin Cutthroats on the way over. Astrogoth trying to fight his way through, but he's a little bit trapped up in all the chaff units, and now Dinosaurs for their reinforcements are going to be calling in Ripperdactyls. Ripperdactyls are anti-infantry specialists, so really, really good at killing things that have good capture weight, right? So I wouldn't even be surprised to see these guys come over and massacre these Hobgoblins, and then the Lizards just steal the home objective. Are Chaos Dwarves making any ground here? The Bull Centaurs, this is a big win for them. Gordo Backstabber and a couple of the Laborers, maybe. Currently, as the points stand, Bob That Builder is at 7-18 against 6-14, so pretty close-ish game. It could honestly still go either way. It's a really, really tight match. With healing being taken into account, I would say the Lizardmen are maybe a little bit ahead with all the apotheosis we've seen. Oh, Astrogoth is going for the kill on the enemy Lord. Ashstorm and the Black Hammer of Hashut. He's going to try and bonk down the Battletoad, but the Ripperdactyls descend from the sky to intercept him, and he's going to get tar-pitted and attacked by all these flying birds. That would have been a really nice pick if he was able to kill that Slan there using all those big, scary combos, but the birds are going to be able to lock him down to the Pterodactyls. They're not birds. I guess dinosaurs are birds, whatever, close enough. So Chaos Dwarves, getting a little bit desperate to get their objectives back on Objective 3. They are going to be calling it Elite Infantry, which are the Blazing Beards of Basharik. These guys have hand grenades, and they're really, really good fighters, so they're going to be moving up. And they call in blunderbusses. So Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses are extremely short-range gun units, but if these guys are able to unleash a blunderbuss salvo on you, you are going to get punched right in the dong. It will basically melt any unit that gets in this little red kill box if they can draw line of sight. But you can also target them with chaff units and kill them. So there is that. Bull Centaurs fighting at the point. Blazing Beards of Basharik are heading up. A lot of flyers coming out for the dinos. So they've heavily invested in the Ripperdactyl squads. And the home objective stolen by Bob That Builder. So Bob does have a triple cap right now. And now we're going to be seeing some badass blunderbusses. So blunderbusses will mow down a lot of these units. They don't want to be shooting against chaff units. It doesn't feel great because the chaff units can just swarm them. They won't have enough ammo. Oh, and the Ripperdactyls coming in with the steel chair on the flank. Oh my God, ripping them to shreds. Absolutely brutal. And, that's an expensive gun unit, which isn't being protected. And now the Lizardman mobility able to really strike and just get them there, which is going to be tough. Chaos Dwarves do manage to steal Objective 3. They get that back. They're going to need to get Objective 2 back as well. But having the blunderbusses get just pounded here is super rough. Astrogoth is going over here, and the Lord of the Chaos Dwarves trying to drag down some of the chaff-centric units. Close game, for sure, but I think the Lizardmen are just maneuvering a little bit stronger around the battlefield, getting a lot of really cost-effective picks. We do see the Bull Centaur Renders coming in to try and fight off these Ripperdactyls, but they're getting flanked by Cold One Spear Riders, so the big cav are going to be on their way in as well. So here they come. Spear Rider's going to be chasing into the Bull Centaurs, and we do see the dreaded Ash Storm is activated, which does, of course, slow them. The Blunderbuss is trying to fight tooth and nail. They're still very elite fighters, even though they're a gun unit, because they're a regiment of renown, but probably not going to be enough. So is there any path to victory for the Chaos Dwarves right now? Blazing Beards of Basharak need to stay there. I don't think, if you abandon that point, the dinos are just going to come jack you. They're just going to take it. The Red Crusted Skanks are moving in to steal that objective. Blazing Beards are going for the home objective here. Hard to say, but I think overall we're probably going to be seeing a Lizardman victory. Yeah, that's for sure the case. So in the pits, we do see a lot of Hobgoblins fighting it out, fully surrounded by the Lizard Infantry there. Astragoth trying to help. Yeah, he breathes fire too, by the way. Oh, Flamethrower Hand, super badass. Chaos Dwarf sending in Infernal Guard. These are elite infantry, but they're going to get killed by Ripperdactyls probably. Honestly, the shielded variant may be a little bit safer in this matchup, but we'll see how they work. So heading up towards Objective 2, owned by the Dinos. The Ripperdactyls are just absolutely rampaging, dude, tearing up these bad boys at every which turn. Not looking great for them, dude. The Lizardman Air Force has really been the name of the game here today. It's been really, really good. We don't see any demon trains coming out either. I think having a couple Iron Demons would be incredibly useful for the Chaos Dwarves. But yeah, Lizardmen do manage to steal Objective 3, so this is a big mistake. Jack moved off the objective, lost his capture weight on it, and then got flanked, and the objective got stolen as well. So ladies and gentlemen, that probably is going to be game blouses. If you look at the map, Lizardmen have Objective 2, they have Objective 3, and Objective 1. That means they're getting 3 victory tickets per second towards the 1,500 needed to win. And even if the Lizardmen wanted to relinquish, they just let the Chaos Dwarves have 2, let them have this one. They could fall back on their home objective and just defend and win on just 1. Now, you don't want to do that, but they do have that as an option if things start to get a little bit hairy, right? So Ripperdactyl's doing work, and yeah, the Dwarves can't even make it to the home objective here, the Chaos Dwarves. They're evil Dwarves, by the way. These are evil-ass Dwarves. That's cool about Warhammer. We got the evil Dwarves here. Yeah, they're going to be trying to fight. They still can't get through the just copious amounts of chaff units. There's so many of these red-crested skinks. Astragoth's going to be trying to help, but yeah, there's absolutely no way. The Battle Toad in the back sitting here, just being a sausage. This is the wizard for the Lizard Army. He's like a Slan. He just kind of floats around in his Walmart mobility scooter and casts spells, and yeah, they're really good spellcasters. Very, very good spellcasters. So the Chaos Dwarves calling out the unpaid interns here, so we do see a hell of a lot of these guys. Yeah, these are just chaff units. Personally, I think the Goblin variant is better and more cost-effective. Chaos Dwarves are a little bit resurgent, you know, like they get Objective 2 back, maybe do something here, but the fact of the matter, guys, is they're going to run out of time. Yeah, Flamestorm would have been a better spell. The Chaos Dwarves did not bring the best spells. Ash Storm is cute and all, but you got to bring Flamestorm. It's really good against Skinks and Sars and all sorts of stuff like that, right? So that is going to be objective number 3, going to the forces of the dinosaurs. And as it stands, 437 points. It's going to be an imminent victory here. 30 seconds until the dinosaurs win. So really, the Chaos Dwarves, which you can see advancing out of their spawn zone, having gotten a little bit of ground here, basically have 30 seconds, well, even less now, it's like 20 seconds, to try and win the game and get all. They would have to get all 3 objectives, right? Like that shit ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. So moving up are the Dawizar with their tall evil hats and their braided beards, but you know, they were defeated one too many times in this battle. The battlefield went to their opponent, and ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be all she wrote. Victory for the children of the old ones. The Lizardmen have done it. Velociraptors, OP. Yeah. GG, well played. Fun match, huh? Fun match indeed. So now we're going to load out, and you can look at the value and see Astragoth did okay. Fireglave's not bad considering how hard they were pressed. So yeah, the Chaos Dwarves lost that game when they lost their frickin' artillery. Like letting the artillery go offline and being trapped in your backfield so long was rough. Yeah, Ripperdactyl's badass. These things did serious heavy lifting. Yeah, the Quaddle actually ended up doing kind of good. Quaddle got 1,700 value there. That's not something you see every day. I don't even know what happened to the Scar Veterans. I think Astragoth killed them. I'm not sure. Maybe they got shot. Scar Vets, 800 and 1,000, so pretty good. That's around what they cost, so really not too bad. All right, guys. So now we have a little bit of time. That was the 3rd round of the tournament. That was a very long game. So if we take a look, let's go here. Yeah, so these are all the matches that are finished in round 3 on this column right here. There's 3 games still. Oh, that one just finished. So we just finished casting Bob versus Jack. Silvos and Abzelzarak and Arno and Shaper of Fate are still playing. So when these guys finish, it's go time, man. It is go time indeed. So yeah, we just got to wait for this, and then we'll be all good to go. Hey, Noah, thank you for becoming a subscriber on Twitch, man. Greatly appreciate it. And Surreal, thank you for the bits, man. And Grumber, outstanding casting Turing, especially for newer players. We're trying our best. We got a lot of new family here, so we're trying to introduce them to the game. Well played for the Warcraft 3 tournament. I'm an undead player. I'm so happy to see that you played. Hey, man, I appreciate that. I'm just learning Warcraft 3 again. I played a lot as a kid when I was really young. So that was an advantage I had over some of the other players is when I was like 12, 13, 14, I played a bit. So I kind of knew what stuff did. But I was very casual. I was massing Huntresses with Potom and mass schools with, Dreadlord. Just no real strategy. Calvnir, thank you for becoming a subscriber. Yeah, so how many of you guys in chat are new to the game? How many of you guys on both YouTube and Twitch have not seen this before? This is your first time getting into Total War Competitive and seeing what it looks like? Let me know. I'd be curious. Yeah, and what do you think? What are your thoughts? Like, does it look fun to you? Do you enjoy it? It's your first time? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, reality. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Garu, never saw the competitive games. Crystal, I'm glad you guys are hanging around. Yeah, this is a standard tournament. It's not the sweatiest of them, but it's pretty sweaty. This weekend is going to be uber sweat. So Saturday at noon Pacific Standard Time is like straight up power sweat. It's the top 16 best players in the world playing for a pretty big prize. I think it's $500. So which is, for a niche RTS scene is pretty good. You like the vampire counts? Nice. Nice. You're just hanging out. Yeah, right on. Right on, Lich. Well, welcome. Yeah, the Saturday is the major event. It's going to be really sweaty. I have 5K hours in Warhammer, but never played a multiplayer battle. It's very normal, honestly. Yeah, it's very normal. It's a very niche scene. It's very niche, but it's incredibly fun. We have some really great people in it. Toxicity in our competitive scene is like almost zero. There's very little. Like we have very strict rules about I mean, like, look, if you're jokingly talking smack to somebody, that's fine. But if you're actually being like awful and toxic, we have pretty strict rules about that kind of stuff. Yes. Hey, Complete Noob, thank you for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome. Is there any balance issue that you'd fix in this game? Yeah, there's a couple things I would fix. Honestly, we're not in the worst spot right now. There's only like 3 or 4 problematic units. You can't even chat in game. I know, it's awful. Yeah, it's awful. You can't even type to your opponent, so that took away a lot of the toxicity. That's right. All right, let's check here. 1 game still to go. Yeah, so when we look, Silvos and Abdelzarak. Yeah, so when that finishes, we will see round 4. So round 4 is the final round of regulation, and then we go to the semifinals and the grand finals. So it'll take the top 4 players from the rounds of 4, and we'll have like a playoff basically. Yeah, which is going to be fun. What tip would you give to an army get into army battles with vampire counts? Yeah, so join our Discord. I think there should be a command over there for Discord. Join it and start talking to people in there. I can give you tips right now. So for vampire counts, for vampire counts, they are pretty freaking awesome. They're very good, but they're hard to play. They're they're really good at swarming and tar pitting all the objectives, right? So let's go to domination mode. So typically for vampire counts, like for beginners, Heinrich Kemmler's pretty good. You just put him on his warhorse, keep the Tomb Blade, bring Invocation, Gaze of Nagash, and Raise Dead. It's a pretty solid little kit. So you have a healing spell, you have a zombie summon spell, which you can use on enemy missile units to shut them down, and then you have a sniping spell too, which is quite nice. Necromancers are pretty god tier for vampire counts. You bring them with actually nothing, and you just put them with the Forbidden Rod in the bushes and let them generate magic for you. It's really, really good. But yeah, a lot of your core units for the undead, like usually you're going to have a front line of zombies backed up by skeleton spearmen and maybe like 2 Graveguard. And you just adjust to the situation. If you're playing an armored faction, you bring the great weapons. If you're playing a large faction, you bring the halberds. And if you're playing a generalist faction, you just bring the standard variant, right? And then just get a couple of corpse carts. You want the Unholy Lodestone typically, right? That's going to be your best bet. Like 1 or 2 of those. And then in reinforcements, you usually have your Punisher units, like your Crypt Horrors and your Fellbats and your dogs for diving backfields, Vargeist for ripping apart armor. There's a lot. But people in our Discord can hook it up. Maybe we'll make a section in the Discord for I actually have a good idea. So I think we're going to make a new section in our Discord. Okay. And it will be for new players, or anybody can use it. You just need the Total War rule. And then we're going to ask players in our Discord who are experienced to take on the coach tag in our Discord. Then you can tag a coach to ask questions, or tag the coaching role, and then you can and then, you know, somebody will eventually answer your question. I think that would be really cool, actually. I think that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, so Heinrich Kellner's pretty cool, though. This guy's what's fun about him, let me show you real quick. All right, let's do this and close you guys down. We'll get this guy and this guy. Yeah, here we go. I'll show you guys this real quick. We don't have too much time. Yeah, I don't play Undead in this game, actually. I love Undead in Warcraft 3, but I don't really play Vampire Counts too much. I'm good enough with them. Like, I am probably competent enough with every single faction in Total War that I could teach you the basics of every single faction in the game. All 24 of them. I could teach you the basics. But, like, if we're talking high level, like, uber competitive, maybe, like, you know. Yeah, so this is the Lord I was telling you about, Heinrich Kemmler. He's like, he is the quintessential evil cackling necromancer. He has some really good magic, too. Yeah, so we can move up. He's got Lore of Vampires, which is down here. Oh, what's really fun about this guy, let me show you. He has a special ability, which isn't the most competitive, but it's super cool. He can summon an ancient white named Krell. So look, from the earth, he summons this like ancient berserker white king guy. And, you know, you can have him fight the enemy lord here, right? So, yeah, he's pretty badass. On top of that, you know, with Undead, you can use zombie summon. So let's say there's like a big cav charge coming in, and you don't want them to get somewhere. You can use a zombie summon as a roadblock. So he casts the spell, and then from the earth, a bunch of zombies emerge, right? Check this shit out. And then the zombies are going to move in and fight. So yeah, he raises the dead, and now they're going to, you know, tar pit an enemy unit. So if they're like flanking you and the shit's getting a little bit wild, right? You can do that. Now, he's got some crazy powerful magic too. You guys want to see this? This is a wind spell called Winds of Death. So you line it up. You get like a little toggle, and then you can aim it. So you aim it like so. And watch this. Watch the HP of this unit. I did not overcast it, so it's not going to do a ton of damage, but check it out. Oh, so it goes through and basically chunks the unit down. Now, if I overcasted that, it would have done a lot of damage. Yeah, so the White King is fighting the enemy lord. Grimgor is obviously much stronger, but like this guy is like a summon that just is free basically. And the fact that he's taken this much HP off the enemy lord isn't bad. Granted, he's designed to fight like large fighters and things like that. So yeah, so Heinrich Kemmler is cool. You just like kind of run him around in the back and cast spells. You avoid people, you know. Hey, look, our zombies are almost gone. Let's get another one. So I can drop a zombie summon right on the head of that unit. And then the dead will rise from the earth and keep attacking, which is super, super cool. So overcasting in this game, the way it works is when you double click a spell, it either makes it better or makes it do something different, right? So let me reload real quick, and just so I can get some magic in the pool. Yeah, there's lots of tactics. There's the depth of tactics in this game are so balls deep. We're going to use a different wizard this time because he has more magic, so we're going to use him. All right. This guy has 2 Lords of Magic. He's pretty nuts. All right. The Tomb Kings are really fun. I think they're a great faction for beginners because you literally only need to get 1 DLC. They're an S-tier faction, and it's really good. Do you actually need dead bodies? No, you don't. No, they just come from the earth. It's the Warhammer universe. Can somebody check to see if the round is done, by the way? I'm supposed to be casting in the next round. Okay, shit. It is. So who do we cast? We're gonna do Noctrum and Silvos. Okay, Noctrum. Lobby code, please. And let's get the lobby code. Lobby code, please. All right, I'm getting into the next game. So the way overcasting works is you'll notice the spells that have a little double arrow underneath them. It means that you can double click that spell, and it's going to be giving you a different effect. So if I click this, it's going to give me magical attacks, leadership, and make the unit cause fear and terror. But if I over-click it, it gets an area effect, which means I can give it to like 10 units, right? So instead of just targeting 1 unit, you can double-click it to give it an area effect. And now for Spirit Leech, for example, it has a range, right? Let me show you guys this. Okay, so we're going to run up here. So when you double click to overcast spells, it basically does augmented effects. So Spirit Leech, I cannot reach him. See the range? I can't reach him. But if I overcast Spirit Leech, it gives it a long range sniping. So when you overcast spells, it usually improves them in some unique way. If I cast this normally, it does one thing, but if I overcast it, I don't have enough to overcast that. I will in a second. 1 sec here. Yeah, I gotta wait for the magic. Yeah. It's an expensive one to overcast. Okay, so the base effect does a certain amount of damage. And if I overcast it, it lasts longer. The spell, the Vortex, is going to last longer. So then we'll cast it right here. This is a really cool spell. Check it out. The Purple Sun of Xarius, it just like sucks them into the abyss, basically. Takes half their health. Yeah, so how magic works is you start with a certain amount of magic, and you get 1 winds of magic per 7 seconds, so 1 resource. And when your power reserve runs out, you cannot cast any more magic. Also, when you overcast spells, it risks hurting your wizard a little bit. But usually it's worth it, depending on the spell. Some spells are worth overcasting, some aren't. It's really an experience thing, yeah. This game is incredibly complicated. There's so many variables in this game, it's nuts. And cool, so let's get in here. We're gonna get into the lobby. And we're gonna cast this game. All right, so we found it. I don't know what factions these guys are playing. I'm trying to give you guys really good faction diversity tonight and give you like a look at different things in the meta. And here we go. We've already done a Lizardman game. We can do it. It's fine. Yeah, so we're going to do this game. We're going to do the Lizardmen versus the French. So you guys saw the Lizardmen. They're just reptile faction. And then the Bretonians are basically just French with some English influence as well, with like longbows and things like that. But they're the French. Hey, you're very welcome, guys. Very welcome. All right, we're going to watch dinosaurs battling French people. It's time. Let's see how this goes. I'll break down the factions once we load in, but players are building their armies right now. The map has been selected. It's the Imperial Road. And yeah, as soon as we're ready, we'll do this. We're going to know who the top 4 players are after this round, and then we're going to do the semifinals and the grand finals. Somebody asked how much longer the tournament's going to be going. Let me check. Maybe like another hour and a half, but then afterwards I'll stick around and show you guys some stuff. Yeah. We'll do it, man. Hey, Lich Lord, thank you for subscribing on Twitch, man. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the family. Yeah, boy. Let the good times roll, man. Let the good times roll. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll do some Warcraft 3 action, and yeah, maybe Tempest Rising, maybe Age of Empires, actually. I've been waiting to get back to Age of Empires until my cough is fully gone, because Age of Empires casts are like an hour sometimes to 2 hours. And with my stupid cough, it was kind of hard. But now that that's clearing up, I think we could do that. We could cast do you guys want to see an FFA tournament? That'd be fun, right? Yeah, we'll do an FFA tournament with the new factions. That sounds sweet. It's going to be fun, guys. Prepare yourselves. Okay. Those lizards are going to have indigestion from eating the peasants. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, we have a very active Age of Empires community. I don't stream it as much as I used to, but yeah. It will be fun. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Lord Mazdamundi facing off against the Fey Enchantress and the Green Knight and Henri Le Massif. All right. Anybody's welcome to join. So here's the thing about my tournaments. Every tournament I run, typically, unless it's like you need to qualify and earn a position, is open. You just join our Discord. We have a really active tournament scene for a bunch of different games. So you just join our Discord, and anybody's welcome to play in our tournaments. Anybody. You just need to be in there to communicate, obviously, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in on the north side of the map, it is going to be the Children of the Old One, the dinosaurs back in business. And this time it is the named legendary version of this land, Lord Mazdamundi, who has Apotheosis as well as a net ability to lock something in place. And the battle line is going to be Temple Guard. So Temple Guard are elite lizardmen warriors with halberds. They're really good against big targets. They can kill cavalry, they can kill big monsters, and mostly spears. And you're probably wondering why the lizard army is massing spear units with the anti-large bonus. It's because the Bretonians are a cavalry faction. They love to use their cavalry, right? So having the spears is usually a little bit safer. So yeah, mainly just elite lizard infantry backed up by a couple monsters. So we do have a Bastillodon, a freaking laser beam on its head. So this is a Bastillodon that focuses the power of the sun and shoots a concentrated laser beam at their opponents, which is very, very cool. On top of that, there's another dinosaur up on the high ground, and this one is going to be a Stegodon as well. Stegodons, okay, it is the anti-large ballista variant. So there's literally a ballista on the top of the Stegodon, and it's also very powerful up close as well. So how does the economy work in this game? So, like I said, 3 objectives. Each gives you 1 victory ticket per second, advancing up towards the 1,500 you need to win. You get perpetual supplies. In the top left corner, each player gets 15 supplies per second, which you can then use to spend on reinforcements. So it's all about like trading your army effectively against your opponent while also holding the objectives. Yeah. So looking here, we do have the Green Knight, the hero unit of Bretonia. So this guy is one of the better duelists in the game. Really tough to kill. He's ethereal, which means he has 55% physical resist and 15% ward save. So if you don't have magic damage, good luck killing this guy. It's so freaking hard. He is getting shot by the solar engine though, which does have magic damage, actually doing some work. And the lord for the Bretonian army is going to be basically the Lady of the Lake. It's going to be the Fey Enchantress. So she is a life caster. She heals things. And she also does, of course, have a mist ability. So when she attacks you, she creates a mist around her that does damage to all your units. Henri Le Massif is her personal bodyguard. And he's going to be going in to do battle and going after the Battletoad. So trying to go after the Lizardman Lord, but you don't want to be running your single characters into a big regiment of halberds, which are going to be able to, grind them down. The rest of the Bretonian army is going to be battle pilgrims back here, backed up by archers as well. So peasant archers and some halberds in the middle of their own. The Beast Slayers of Bastogne are going to be moving up to do glorious battle. And we have a Grail Relic. So this is an aura platform it's like a statue from Warcraft 3. It basically buffs the stats of all nearby units. Oh, Mazda Money with Ruination of Cities, blasting and ripping apart those units. So that is magic coming in from the giant toad over there. A little bit of lag there. But even still, look at the HP on the Beast Slayers. They got absolutely wrecked. The Bretonians also calling out trebuchets from downhill. So they do have blessed trebuchets, which are going to be shooting in. And the first cavalry unit is going to be coming out for Bretonia. It's going to be questing knights. These are armor-piercing knights, pretty good against a lot of units, but we're going to see how they're used. So the battle in the middle rages on. We do have battle pilgrims not having the best time. The Beast Slayers of Bastogne normally would break, but the Grail Relic is going to be keeping those bad boys fighting in the fight. And what are the Bretonian heroes going to be doing? A lot of the Bretonian army is invested in these 3 characters. Another laser beam hitting the Green Knight. Are they going to try and kill the Battletoad? Fey Enchantress retreating back with her characters. We'll have to see what Noctrum's going to be trying to do. And the Peasant Archer is kind of getting eviscerated a little bit. It looks like the Solar Engine in the back is doing quite a bit of work. Oh my god, they're going to try and kill Mazda Mundi. So all 3 of the Bretonian heroes are going to try and kill the Lord of the enemy army. We see them piled in, going after the giant Battletoad right there, and he's going to turn to face them. He's not a really good fighter. He's more of a wizard. Oh my god, he's getting chunked. Lord Mazda Mundi he's at half health. He's getting really, really low. The Green Knight, the Fey Enchantress, Henri Le Massif doing work. Chalice of Potions coming down. A huge bombardment from the Fey Enchantress. It's one of her magical abilities. She does nuke the SARS right there. And Lord Mazda Mundi is going to be trying to get away on his motor scooter. So pushing through enemy units in this game is a little bit tricky. You have to measure the mass of your unit versus the mass of the enemy unit, and that dictates who's going to be able to push who around. So Green Knight is still in pursuit, but the Battletoad is running through a lot of his own units to try and get away. And the mighty questing knights are flanking in the backfield, so we do see the Bretonian knights coming in to try and help as well. They're going to try and trap down the Battletoad, but they need to be careful. There's a lot of spears nearby, a lot of halberds, and is the Green Knight going to get his prize? Where are the Bretonian characters? So, macro look at the battlefield. If we take a look, we do see reinforcements coming in. A lot of archers for Bretonia. Objective 1 belongs to the forces of the Lady. And the Lizardmen own Objective 3, obviously, but the contested Objective number 2 actually belongs to Bretonia. Now, remember what I told you guys about the Fey Enchantress? She is going to be draining the health of all nearby units with her ability here, which is hard to see, but it's called the Mist of the Lady. So she's pretty good in these brick fights, and she's helping her infantry defeat the 8-foot-tall Giga Chad lizards right there. The Green Knight, though, just full rage boner, going after the Lizardman Lord, who's at 3,500 HP, getting a little bit low. And Gilles Le Breton, the Green Knight, getting in with a big attack right there. And the Battletoad is trying his best to get away. Lizardmen going to be calling in reinforcements as well. So they do call in their Coldon Spear Riders, which will be able to defeat the Bretonian cavalry here. But the Green Knight, he is so sticky and really, really tough to get rid of here. He continues moving in, attacking into whatever he can, but the Battletoad has gotten away at 2,400 HP. The fight in the middle is going to be favoring the French. We do see the Beast Slayers of Bastogne and the Men-at-Arms grinding down the elite lizard units. Now, normally they wouldn't have such a good time here, but oh, the Bastiladon coming in after the Fey Enchantress. She's not the tankiest. She better be careful. She is sitting at 2,200 HP, but does have the ability to heal herself, and she does cast Earthblood. Now, Earthblood is a big AoE heal, so it heals the Men-at-Arms, it heals the Beast Slayers, and it heals the Fey Enchantress, which is quite good. So Green Knight getting trapped. The Lizardmen finally corral the legendary Hunter of Bretonnia. The Green Knight is surrounded. He doesn't have enough mass to really push out, so there's a chance that he could be killed. So just like in Warcraft, you can get surrounds in this game, and it's very tough for people to escape. So that mechanic is kind of familiar as well. But the other Bretonian hero, Henri Le Massif, is going to go in as well, and he's going to be hunting down the Battletoad, but the Lizard player doing a really good job using his own heavy cavalry to mitigate the aggression coming in from the Bretonian heroes. And Henri Le Massif is going to get killed. He's at 600 HP, a lot of anti-large attacks. No, don't let him go. Stay and finish the job. The Cold Spear Riders need to finish the job, and Henri Le Massif is broken, which means he's not going to fight. He's going to break and run for the edge of the battlefield now. But during all this chaos, the pressure the Bretonians have put onto the Battletoad here means that the Bretonian armies have been able to kind of secure the middle here a little bit. Looking pretty comfortable. We do see the defenders of Fleur de Lis, so those are knight errants here. They're going to be charging in to engage Cold Spear Riders, which is not a good fight for them. A little bit of lag there. Sorry about that, guys. This game is peer-to-peer connections. We don't have lag in maybe like 80% of our games, but occasionally you'll get people from like different parts of the world who will have some issues, but it's very uncommon. Oh shit, the ambush! Okay, guys, this is a dank play, by the way. I'm going to explain this. Knights of the Realm are going to massacre these guys, but these are Chameleon Stalkers. They're an invisible unit. You can only see them when they get close. So he used the Chameleon Stalkers to sneak around the edge of the map like this, and he killed the enemy artillery right there, which is pretty great. So look at that. The Trebuchet crew is all destroyed by those assassin lizards. Oh my god, that is so funny. And they're still kind of healthy too. Wow, okay, really nice play taking the Trebuchet offline. So the battle continues to rage on in the middle. The Green Knight is still alive, but Henri Le Massif has been defeated, so one Bretonian hero has been killed. The other is still trapped up and taking quite a bit of HP damage. And the Bretonian archer is trying to put a little bit of firepower down in the middle, but it looks like some cavalry are going to be trying to get into the backfield. No, these are feral cold ones. So these are unmounted velociraptors. They're just kind of a generalist unit. And where are they going to go? Yep, they want to get onto the archers, and here they come. So the archer is going to start getting ripped apart. But the Bretonian Cav for the lady coming in to protect the peasants. Very, very lore-friendly right there. And they are going to massacre those feral cold ones. Knights of the Realm are anti-large specialists, which means that they get a bonus versus bigger targets. So the fighting rages on. Oh my god, is the Lizard's going to steal the back objective? This is one thing you got to pay attention. Holy shit, this is a game-changing play potentially, guys. Silvos, the Lizardman player, he rallied some raggedy-ass Lizard units, and he's stealing his opponent's back objective. Oh no. Bretonia needs to get something over here. Okay, Henri Le Massif has come back from the grave. He's been resummoned. You can resummon things in this game when they die. And Henri Le Massif is going to be heading over there to try and stalk that. The stalkers might be able to get it. Will the Lizardmen be able to re-wrestle the middle objective? Okay, is Henri going to get there in time? Holy shit, it's really close. The objective's coming very, very close to it's very, very close here. Moving up, it is going to be Henri Le Massif. A little bit of lag. It's the cinematic lag, guys. It's making it quite fun here. Okay, he has 3 capture weight. These guys still have more capture weight than him. Infantry typically have 5 capture weight, which does get diminished as they take damage, but, you know, it is what it is. So, looking over on the middle objective right here, we do see the Bretonians still holding it, so the Lizardmen have not been able to get this point. Oh, Chalice of Potions. So, the Wizard of Bretonia dropping a huge comet, which nukes those lizards. Brutal damage right there. And you can see those guys paying the troll toll right there. That is quite a bit of damage. And they're going to get routed instantly by that bombardment. Really, really nice. Yeah, Bretonia seems to be in a slightly more commanding position, and the Bretonian cavalry see what's happening, and they move back, and the Knights of the Realm have arrived. So that is beautiful right there. And the back objective for Bretonia, which is barely saved, so it did not flip, that is a huge play. If that one had been flipped, it could have really, really put this game on its head, for sure. So a couple archers are here, trying to shoot into the lizards. One of the archer units is being massacred by a giant stegodon, so having a pretty bad time here. But the Fey Enchantress is going to be coming in and attacking that thing, which is a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for them. We do have the Beast Slayers of Bastogne as well here. So these are Spearmen and Halberd units, which are trying to drag down the Bastiladon. So these units do have a bonus versus large, which means when they attack a unit that has the large profile picture right here, entity size large, it means they get bonus stats basically and get some work done. So it's quite nice. This game could still kind of go either way. The dinos are looking a little bit resurgent. In the back, the Green Knight is still going. God, he's such an annoying character. The fact that you need magic damage to finish him is so troll. And yeah, he's even worse in tabletop, by the way. The Green Knight is one of the worst things to play against in tabletop. So frustrating. But here we have it. We do see the Green Knight at 1,000 HP. Middle objective belongs to Bretonia, but it is in the process of flipping. Fey Enchantress, the Lord of Bretonia, is getting very low, but the Bretonian Knights for the lady coming in and lancing down those filthy dinosaurs, and then wheeling over and getting another great engagement right here against these other dinosaurs as well. So, stabilizing the point, the Bretonnian Cav going to be trying to hold the middle. This is going to be very big. As it currently stands, the Bretonnians do have 920 points against 490 for the Lizardmen. And the thing is, the Bretonnians have had the objective advantage for so long in this game that their chances of winning are pretty high, because even if they were to lose the middle objective, they could still retreat back and win by having only a singular point. Oh, the Battletoad got killed. I didn't see that. Mazdamundi got surrounded and killed. Look at his toilet seat. Dude, the worst spot. Oh my god. Imagine where he's been sitting. Like right here, like underneath that, the stench that would erode from that. Oh my god. But yeah, I think the Bretonnians are resurgent, guys. I think with Lord Mazdamundi dying, although, I mean, guys, the Fey Enchantress is really low too. If the Fey Enchantress is to get killed, she's only got 1,000 HP. That could also give the Lizardmen back in the game. So when your Lord dies in your army, if you look at these Saurus warriors here and mouse over their leadership, you can see all the things that are causing leadership penalties for them. Negative 16 leadership because their Lord recently died. That's really bad. That means that your army is potentially going to be turning and running super quickly. But the Lizardmen are fighting tooth and nail to try and get back here. But the Fey Enchantress with her aura is doing a lot of draining. As long as the Fey Enchantress, the Lord of the Bretonnian army, lives, she's going to be able to do some big bump and grind on these guys. And, oh my god, the Green Knight didn't hear any bell whatsoever. Gilles... So the lore of the Green Knight is he's a long-deceased Bretonnian king. He's like one of the first kings of Bretonnia. And basically, in times of need, when Bretonnia is like threatened, his spirit comes back as the Green Knight and helps to deal with Bretonnia's problems and whatnot. So he's a super badass character, very very fun, kind of Arthurian inspired, right? But he's going to be able to kill that Bastillodon most likely, and I think the Bretonnians have clinched this game. We do see the Cold Ones here, the Cold One Spear Riders getting broken back, and the Bretonnians are resurgent for the lady. They're going to be moving up and just fighting. So we got Questing Knights versus Saurus Warriors. It's just a matter of stuffing your opponent now, right? You have such a big points lead against the dinosaurs. Just don't let them get the objectives. Even if it means sacrificing value and taking bad trades, you're so far ahead, right, that you can get away with this. Lizardmen coming in with a bit of a desperate play, calling in some elite halberd infantry, which will be super good against a lot of this army. They might even be able to kill the Green Knight, actually, as they do pile in. They have an anti-large bonus, which is quite good. So they might be able to do it. Saurus Spears are trying here, but they're char-pitted by men-at-arms, and the Fey Enchantress is also draining them down. And the unwashed peasant archers back here are shooting into the reptiles. Yeah, they are. Oh, a really cool unit. I'm really glad we get to see that. So this is an elite Bretonnian unit called Pegasus Knights. They're designed to kill big things. They have lances and they have anti-large, which means they can move in and just from the skies also. So like units on the ground cannot attack them unless they have like guns or bows. So they always get the charge off on you, whereas your opponent can't charge them. And they're going to be descending onto the big beastie here, trying to finish off. Pegasus Knight should be able to get the job done. This thing is 2,000 HP, 7 leadership, so its leadership is super low because its lord is dead. And the Pegasus Knights should be able to get it done. Yeah, they're going to pile in and attack now, and that will be the end of the road. Victory for the sons and daughters of Bretonnia. GG, well played. The French are victorious this day. Yeah, they end up getting in there. It's tricky charging a moving target, All right. That was a good match, man. Really, really fun. So, yeah, you guys have gotten to see a good range of factions today, which has been great. For the lady, yeah, we're going to check the value on all those units. We're going to check the value on all the units there. So, looking at this, 1,700 here. Green Knight, 2,200 value. But, guys, Green Knight costs about the same as that. Like, he's expensive. He's not cheap. So, yeah. The Bretonnian characters put in some work. Fey Enchantress was really good. She was a great healer. The cavalry did good. 1,600 on this. 1,300. Yeah, really, really nice cavalry control. Good play on both sides. Honestly, Lord Mazdamundi dying was the big catalyst. But yeah, the Bretonnian army just traded a little bit more effectively in general. Yeah, he's like 1,100 for Green Knight. So yeah, he did good. He's so annoying. It's hilarious because in tabletop, the tabletop version of this game. So this game is obviously based on Warhammer Fantasy, right? The Green Knight is literally the bane of my existence. I hate him so much. He is so annoying. Let me show you guys this. Look at this guy. Oh, what a Chad. What a Chad. I mean, I like him and I love his lore, but playing against him, he's so toxic. It's just, it's awful. Yeah, and then you have the Bretonnia in general looks pretty cool in tabletop. This is the Bretonnian faction. This is the French in tabletop. Yeah, they got their big Duke on the Pegasus. And so in tabletop, it's even worse. In this game, you can actually hurt Bretonnia. You can hurt the Green Knight, even if you don't have magic damage. But in tabletop, you cannot kill the Green Knight. You can't even hurt him if you don't have magic damage. He's just invulnerable. It's the most bullshit thing ever. You can still crumble him in combat with like a combat resolution, but it's really hard to do. Oh, God. Yeah. This is Bretonnia tabletop. They're pretty cool. This model's really nice. So this is the Fey Enchantress in tabletop, Lady Elise. She's pretty cool. Yeah, in tabletop, they're actually the strongest faction in the game. I have 4 armies. One of my favorite armies to play these days is the Tomb Kings. So Tomb Kings are an undead faction in this game that are based on Egyptian mythology. So it's like Egyptian undead. They're not evil either. They're like neutral. So a lot of the undead are evil in this game, but the Tomb Kings are not. Yeah, they're really cool. They like ride bone dragons and have like this badass Egyptian aesthetic. It's super fun. Look how cool these guys are. They're like Sandstalkers. Oh, they're so sick. Yeah, super badass. And then, yeah, the Cambrian, the Necro Sphinx is one of my favorites. I have one of these. My wife painted it. It's beautiful. Yeah, that thing's freaking rad. Yeah, but these are the game we're casting today too. These are like their rank and file infantry. No, Ark in the Black is evil, but the Tomb Kings hate him. So it's not. It's there are cheaper ways to play this game, Joaquin. Hoskin. Sorry, I mangled your name. There's Forbidden Arts. All right, so that was round 4 of the. Yeah, that's round 4 of the tournament. We're waiting for the semifinals now. We should know who the top 4 are here very soon. Did Anticity lose a game? No freaking way. Oh shit, he lost to Max Millionaire. Damn. Yeah. Skaven are in the Age of Sigmar section, yeah. Their models are really good, honestly. Skaven are actually the worst faction of the game in Warhammer the Old World, though. It's pretty funny. They're very bad. They're very bad. They can still win, but it's very difficult. And in Total War, they're pretty good. You can do some work with Skaven. Yeah. The biggest forbidden art is Rogue Idol Tech. Yeah, it is. Oh, dude, Max he's pretty good at vampire count. So he's still in the tournament though. Anticity still has a pretty good chance. I got a sick build to win in the semis though. That's my boy. Let's go, dude. So top 4 is looking pretty set in stone. We do need to wait and see what the tiebreakers unfold with. So if we look at the tournament, we have top 4 is Maximillionaire, Outer Region, Anticity, and Bob That Builder. So that's Vampires. Outer Region was on what again? Was he on Empire too? Yeah. No, High Elves. Vampire counts, High Elves, Empire, and Lizardmen are looking to make it to top 4. But there's a couple people very close in tiebreakers. So we have to wait and see how these matches shape up. Yeah, Noctrim and Silvos hasn't been reported, so yeah. We have to see. We will see. Bloated Corpses. Oh my god, those units are so funny. Dreadlord YouTube guy. Dude, I am the Dreadlord, dude. Carrion Swarm, Boots of Speed, just all the memes. Just embrace it. It's crazy how the rats are the most technologically advanced race in the world. They are, yeah. It's because they forsake safety for innovation. They just don't give a shit. They'll blow themselves up. Like, they'll lose half their engineers to develop a technology, you know? That's the thing. Okay, Crystal says, are there also multiplayer battles? What are you referring to? Have you been getting more? Yeah, a little bit, Fly Pepper, on Twitch for sure. YouTube's more or less the same. Yeah, we have, on YouTube right now, we have 3,000 people watching. And on Twitch, it's 369. Oh, the blessed number. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you can do 2v2 games and stuff. It's fun for sure. Oh, you guys want to see a meme unit? You want to see something really funny? Okay, let me show you this. So this is probably the biggest meme unit in the entire game. So this faction is really cool. They're called Vampire Coast. It's an undead pirate faction. It's hilarious. But I'm going to just show you what Bloated Corpses are. So this is a unit that is super funny. And we're going to show you. Yeah, let's get it, man. Let's get it. So Bloated Corpses are basically you sacrifice them to blow something up. They're really terrible because they cost 400 gold, which is super overcosted. But when they do connect, it's really funny. It's really funny. It sends a message to your opponent. So I'm not loading in with the full army. So we're going to show you guys what these things look like. Look, so these are Bloaty boys. Yeah, these are Bloated Corpses. Check it out. Basically abominations, right? All right, but they blow up when they make contact with something. So you're going to move them in. We're going to lock it, move them up the hill. Check this shit out. You guys ready? Yeah, think inexpensive Baneling. That's right. Yeah, Baneling is probably the best analogy for them. Oh my god, let's go. Oh, this is going to be so funny. All right, so you give them the attack order. You click on the enemy unit. We're going to fast forward while they get close. You guys ready? Y'all ready for this? Oh, here it comes. Oh, this is probably the biggest meme unit in the whole game. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Let's go. See? They just blow up and do a shit ton of damage. So it's like a mobile hand grenade unit. Yeah. So look at the HP of those units. Just straight dead. But, you know, they just killed all 3 of those units. Look at that. 90% of their HP gone. And, yeah, they're sent packing. So, yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Right? So, but, like, the one situation where you would want to use those things is if your opponent has really expensive infantry. You send them into look, the carnage they leave behind. You send them into their expensive infantry. Nobody really uses them, but they're pretty funny. By the way, this is like one of the coolest characters in the game. His name's Count Noctilus. He's a vampire course. He's like a vampire naval like admiral. He's super cool. He's basically straight out of this, and he can do some cool shit. He can summon the deckhands from the depths. He's badass. Vampire Coast is one of the coolest factions in the game. They're vampire pirates. Look at that. And he summons his deckhand mobs to come out and guard him. Super cool. Yeah, Vampire Coast is so badass, dude. God damn, look how cool these guys are, man. All right. Well, anyways, let's jump out of here. We should be in the top 4. Yeah, Vampire Coast. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder. Show Queen Bess. We're about to go into the semifinals. Okay, but I think I have time to load in and show him Queen Bessie. Okay, so Queen Bess is a huge artillery piece belonging to the Vampire Coast. Not sure, Anonymous Hero. I'm not sure. How are the Sylvans? I got the game but no DLCs yet. I like them. Wood Elves are really good. They're an incredibly good competitive faction, but they're hard to play. They're very squishy and very touch and go. But if you have really good micro, they're very rewarding. Yeah, it's much like Night Elf in Warcraft 3. Like you can't be like letting your dryads get put in bad position. And so this is one of the biggest cannons in the game. It's called Queen Bessie. Vampire Coast has it. It's a literal giant vampire bombard cannon. And yeah, you can see, look at the crew here. Isn't that cool? Look at this game, looks so good. Look at that. You just got the zombie crew hanging out there. But we'll show you what it looks like real quick, okay? So we're going to get Noctilus. We're going to do this, and we're going to run over here. And we're going to get the bombard. Yeah, Grand. It's basically Grand, yeah. So you need line of sight. You know, there's a hill here blocking it, so I'm going to send my Lord up as a spotter. And now we can shoot here. So here comes the bombard, see? It's hard because they're moving, but it might hit. Oh! Direct hit. Look at the damage it does, too. So you can just kind of bombard people with this. You guys want to see some dank magic, too. So we're going to get in there and start fighting a little bit. Yeah, nice. And how much is Overcasted Winds? Oh, another Queen Bessie hot load. Yeah, this spell is nuts, too. Winds of Death. Check this shit out. So I'm casting a big wind spell. It's going to be a vampiric, like ghost spell. Check this out. Look at the HP on these units. Just watch these guys. Oh! Yeah, it's pretty sick. Anyways, that's Queen Bess here. Yeah, good times. It's basically Carrion. Yeah, the second one I cast was like Carrion Swarm. Yeah. Oh, Vangeist Revenge, dude. There's so much cool shit I can show you guys in this game. Oh man. Okay. All right. Are we in the finals yet? Is it done? Is top 4 upon us? Yeah, Chaos Dwarves do have the most devastating artillery piece. It's not the most competitive, but it's like, in terms of just raw output, it's like, yeah. So Vangeist Revenge is one of the coolest spells in the game. It basically is a spell that only Vampire Coast has access to. And it channels the ghost ship of a long dead, Sea Lord, and it rises from the abyss and basically blows everything away. It's super cool. Let me show you guys. Okay, so yeah, we need to get this here. So we're going to set you up as the bait. Do we have enough for it yet? Vangeist is 20 Winds of Magic. Jesus Christ, it's expensive. Okay. So we're going to get you in there, and we have to wait for our charge. Okay, here we go. Ready? So we call it in, and look. I didn't aim the best, but just look at the spell when it casts. Oh, the Flying Dutchman. Yeah, baby. And then it shoots cannonballs down the line and just nails those guys. How cool is that? How cool is that? Look at the damage it did. It just wrecked. It just straight up. Oh my God, I killed everything. Holy shit, it just blasted 3 units. Oh, it's so cool, man. It's so cool. Yeah, Vampire Coast is so cool, man. They're such a fun faction. Yeah. Like, you can use... That spell has been used in competitive. It's not like, terrible, actually. It's just... It's a little easy to dodge because there's a build-up time, so if your opponent sees it, you know, you can dodge it, but top 4 is up. All right, let's see what top 4 looks like. Thank you, Bob. All hail the mighty. You guys want to see the... Oh, well, we'll watch some trailers in between games. I want to show you guys some stuff since we got some new folks here. It's so good. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to show you my favorite trailer in the game, which is the Immortal Empires trailer, but we can look at the other ones too. Okay, so we have Anticity versus Outer Region, Hiles versus Empire, and Bob That Builder versus Maximillionaire. Let's do Anticity Outer Region. Yeah, okay. And let's get Anticity here. Spec slot, please. All hail the mighty. You're just in time. We're getting into the semifinals right now, and then we have the grand finals after. Yeah. So rising from the deep, with crooked sails and incredible tales, we're calling in the seas. It's so good. That trailer is so freaking good. Okay, I think we have to watch it now. It's stuck in my head now, so you guys have to suffer with me. Okay. Vampire Coast trailer. Let's do this. Curse of the Vampire Coast. Okay. Let's figure it out here. Yeah, it's called Tattered Sails is the song, the sea shanty. Let me just get into the lobby so I don't like miss it while I'm just getting excited showing you guys this stuff. Okay, so we have a Hyle vs Empire match, which is going to be fun. Okay, hopefully this isn't too loud. Let me get this set up here. We're going to go full screen. Okay. Yeah. Let me know if the volume's good. Oh, it's so good. I'm just going to play the trailer.
You wouldn't believe us. The tales we could tell. Though, truth be told, it started very poorly. Blood runs cold. We take our look, but don't get old. I was one. But now we are many. We all agree on one thing. To sail the coast. Hunt down those lizard trinkets. And we will find them. We will put ourselves back together. Fortune favors the infamous.
I think that's one of the best trailers. It's not the best one, but it's very good. It's very good. Are we still waiting? Okay. You guys want to see the #1 trailer though? Like, I think the GOAT of all trailers. Oh, dude, it's so good. The Ogre Kingdoms trailer is really good too. We got time. We're just chilling, man. Like, we're waiting for these guys to be ready anyways. The Chorf trailer is very good. No, but this is the. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Now it's time for the GOATed trailer. This is hands down the best one in my opinion. This like encapsulates the whole game. It's not just one faction. It's like everyone. It's so good. If I were trying to like sell somebody on the game, I'd be like this trailer right here. Yeah.
Storm clouds gather. Our borders are beset by evil, both mundane and immortal. How long can we withstand this onslaught? We must form an alliance. We either die alone or survive together.
I concur. This threat is beyond any of us. With the Azur's guidance,
This is just another Algates game. I see many leaders here, but you even speak for your people?
High King, this is not the time for short-sightedness.
Short? There'll be no alliance with elves while I'm High King. Only a reckoning.
We must not be blinded by our own need for power. This is the moment. Your choices will decide the fate of this world. And all that inhabit it. Make the right one.
Come on, is that not like one of the coolest trailers you've ever seen? All right. Oh shit. We're a ways in the game. Holy shit. It went longer than I expected. I was like so enthralled in the trailer. All right, guys. We're in the semifinals. Sorry about that. Holy shit. So, Anticity here is going to be our Empire player. It literally just started though. We're a minute in. We missed 1 minute. It's all good. Right into the action. So what we saw is Anticity moving up with what appears to be a quad wagon build. So Wagon's very, very good at poking heavy cavalry and not so good against spears and archers, but against the rest it's okay. State Troopers and more State Troopers here. Demogryph Knights on the outside. And the Lord choice is going to be Marcus Wolfheart. Now, this guy is a sniper character. He's a long-ranged marksman, and he's really, really good at netting things in place and shooting them down. For the Elven army, it's going to be a pretty standard rank-and-file army. We do have spearmen, and archers backing it up. Classic campaign hiles, basically. Pretty cost-effective, and we're going to see if the wagons are going to be able to breach this. So the war wagons on the other side here, these are basically mobile gun stations. So there's like gun crews in the back being pulled by wagons. So they're really durable against fire with 80 armor, and they also will be able to scoot and shoot. But honestly, against like entrenched positions of archers, probably won't be enough. Klawa, thank you for subscribing, man. Really appreciate it. So one of the things is you're probably noticing the mainline Empire army, these wagons and these troopers don't really have any tools to get back and kill these archers. So that's why the Empire is going to be calling in one of the coolest Coolest guns in the back. It's called the Sunmaker. So it's a Hellstorm rocket battery. It can shoot pretty much halfway across the map. Very vulnerable. If it gets caught and killed by like light cavalry, you're going to be in the pits. But it's really excellent at wasting archers and these type of positions. Here comes the rockets. Yeah, some of them hitting home, doing a lot of damage against those archers. Brutal, brutal work as those bad boys do get worn down. Dr. Plopsicle, thank you for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. But the High Elves do have the advantage on the field. They have Objective 3. They have Objective 2 as well. Objective 1 belongs to the Empire, but is actually being threatened by the High Elves. The High Elves have 4 cavalry units here, which is 4, 8, 12, 16 capture weight, give or take, against 10 capture weight for the Empire. So the Elves actually have a little bit of better capture weight. So Anticity, oh my god, oh no! The Elven Lord, oh, she's dead! Holy shit, I look away for 1 second. Oh my god, the Elven Mage is dead. So, what happened? Let me explain it to you guys. He flew the Mage in his opponent's backfield. And then Marcus Wolfhart used his Hunter Snare ability to lock her in place so she can't move. And then he called in Pistoliers in all 4 of his war wagons with massive focus fire and insta-killed the Lord. Oh my god, that is like as bad of a start as you could have. Holy shit. That's why you don't fly into the backfield. Yeah, Stormbolt surround right there. That's freaking right. Well, that's one way to throw, that's for sure. Okay, so the Elven Lord is dead. The Empire is down on objectives, but with the Lord being gone, the entire Elf army's leadership is going to be worse. And we see the bombardments coming in from the Empire artillery, forcing the Silverin Guard and the Elven Elite Infantry to actually run. So they're breaking and running position while the Empire Chad soldiers with their giant cod pieces. I'm very biased. The Empire is my favorite faction. But they're going to be moving up and pushing into the archer lines. Outer Region is in the dregs of hell right now. He is down 3,000 value, and the Demogryph Knights, the elite Empire anti-large cavalry, are going to be able to intercept here and make sure none of these cav can intercept the wagons also. So here they come. Awesome looking stuff, plowing into the archers, punting some of those guys into another dimension. And what's really fun about wagons is you can use them as like a chariot too. So the war wagons are being used, they're running you over and they're shooting you at the same time, which is pretty savage. So Elves absolutely on their heels. The artillery, the Elves have no answer for the artillery, which is now bombarding into the archers and the spearmen on the outside. And oh my god, this is going to be a freaking crushing defeat. Yeah, 1,000 years of training in high magic, eat gunpowder. That's right. That's basically the Empire in a nutshell, you know? Yeah, Demogryph Knight's going to be a problem too. The Elves are trying to call in some cavalry to get back in the field and maybe grab some ground, but like Demogryph Knights will absolutely annihilate their light cavalry here. These are Reavers, they're light cavalry units, they're not really very good against big armor. And now Empire heavily armored cav are coming in, the Empire Knights of Sigmar, they do get a nice charge and break them back. So looking at the objectives, we do see Objective 1 belonging to the Empire, but the High Elves have gotten some Rangers down here and are trying to capture this one back. Objective number 2 belongs to the Elves, but not for long. Marcus Wolfhart, Spearman, and the Mage of Fire, so it is a Bright Wizard as well. So the Bright Wizard casts Burning Head, which is like a wind spell. It's like Carrion Swarm. In here, we do see the Mage of Shadows, shaken and stirred, sitting at 14 leadership here as the Bright Wizard stares menacingly. On the high ground, the war wagons of the Empire have been able to force off the Elves off the objective, and we do get some Empire heavy cavalry coming across and thinking about grabbing that. But the wagons have capture weight themselves, and will be able to grab the objective. So yeah, Outer Region really in the dregs of hell right now. 7,200 value against 2,700. Yeah, there's no coming back from this. He's blundered not just one, it's been a couple things. Like, not only was he getting just pounded by that freaking artillery piece in the back, which is now gone, it used all its ammo. Yeah, he also lost his Lord, which is a big expensive Lord. Yeah, so you can resummon your Lord, but here's the problem, guys. If you have to wait for your Lord to come back and resummon them, like, you're not getting units on the ground to fight that can capture the objectives, right? And it's really expensive. Demogryph Knight's going absolute Giga Chad mode. They're just rolling through, and they're going to be tearing apart these Elves here. So that is going to be some serious damage as the heavily armored demis. My favorite unit to use in tabletop, by the way. I use 3 units of 3 Demogryph Knights in most of my Empire lists. I love them. They're so freaking cool looking. But yep, they're trading pretty well there. More Empire heavy cav are going to be surging in to shut that shit down right there. And oh my god, is he going to lose his Lord again? I think, oh, Anticity's, he might be able to net him again. We do see the Elven Mage sitting by all the wagons. Marcus is not using his net, though. I don't know why. He maybe could have gotten another kill right there. Maybe could have gotten another kill right there. But not going to be the case. And on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, the Elves are fighting pretty hard here, all things considered. They're trying to do a little ninja play coming through the woods with their Vanguard deployment. But the Demogryph Knights and the Empire Heavy Cav are just going to... Oh, with the Burning Head roaring in the background. Super cool looking. and the elves are going to be routed off this objective. So yeah, they pretty much get crushed over here. It is a triple cap for the Empire right now, sitting at 598 on points. War wagons are just following the Archmage, by the way, running over the archers with their chariots, and just putting some nice pepper on those bad boys as well. So on the other side, Demogryph Knights looking pretty healthy. Empire is going to be calling in some guns in the back. So these guys are really cool. They're called Hochland long rifles. They're long-range snipers. So they have like early sniper rifles basically. And they can shoot from not as far as artillery, but like, you know, in between artillery and a standard shooting unit. So they're able to take position on the high ground. And yeah, they're going to be shooting down at the spearmen on the objectives. And what's really cool about these guys is since they have such long range, you can keep them close to your spawn zone, which means you can protect them pretty easily by summoning in defensive units. Oh, the mage is getting low again. That Archmage is getting wagoned, and the huntsman, the Hunts Marshal of the Empire, Marcus Solfar, he's watching, dude. He's supporting, and he's going to be ripping a shot, shooting that one spearman who apparently blocked his shot. And yeah, this game is over. I mean, this is a crushing defeat right here. Anticity is absolutely just taken him to Pound Town. Another Burning Head going to be activated, so that is fire magic from the Empire, going to be cooking through and roasting some of the elves as they just get wasted by the Hochland long rifles from downtown. Beautiful stuff right there. Oh, and then the wagons with the steel chair as well. Just no mercy whatsoever. So currently Empire has 2 objectives. You can see one here and one here. High Elves did manage to desperately hold on to one, but they're going to get pushed off. We see a lot of state troopers coming up, so the Empire Spearmen, as well as the Sigmar Sons, going to be hustling up to the objective, and they're going to be able to fight for that point for sure. Yeah, this was like a Cobra Kai game for sure, 100%. So on the outside, we do see some Fireborn called in, but out of region knows it's over. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the grand finals. So that was a crushing victory. Obviously, mainly because he lost his lord so early. You know, it's just like in Warcraft, right? For any of you new guys out there, if you just like send your lord in and just get it dicked early, you're going to be super far behind, right? So your hero, I should say. What a badass! I love the war wagons. They're so freaking cool. And Marcus is always good. Yeah, Fire Wizard. Sunmaker managed to get 2,200 value too. Yeah. GG. Well played. Grand finals time, guys. We're going to see what's cooking here. And now, let me see. The other side is still going probably, so we might have time for a trailer. Let me get the spec slot. Yeah. Yo, set up finals lobby. Send me that code. The hero burst, yeah, like it's pretty hard to kill heroes in this game, but you can kill them quickly if you combine a lot of units and focus fire, you can still kill them fast. Ikator Goblin Shaman reacts to the one. Oh, which one is that? Send it to me, Frost. Send it to me. Sorry, I was in the zone. I probably missed the message. We already watched the Vampire Coast trailer. I think the Ogres one is going to be pretty good too for the Ogre Kingdoms, because it has like a really good song with it, which I think will be fun. Yeah, so Anticity, set up the finals lobby and send me the code so I can join it before. Oh, yeah, we could watch that one, Frost. That one's pretty good. We'll do that towards the end. Okay, so I'm going to get into the finals lobby. Shout out to Anticity for setting it up. By the way, do you guys remember that stream I had, the Warcraft stream, like a week and a half ago, where I was training somebody from my community to play Warcraft 3? That's this guy. The guy who just won, that's the guy I'm telling you about. He's one of the best players in the world in Total War. But this was the guy I was training to play. Remember? He was doing like the sleep surrounds like instantly and stuff after just getting the game. Yeah. That's the guy I was telling you about. Okay, so yeah, we're in the lobby. We're waiting for his opponent. Ogre Kingdoms trailer. This one's pretty good. This one's really short. It'll be very fast. Okay. This is a classic one. How do you do in the Warcraft 3 tournament? Do you want me to spoil it for you, or do you want me to tell you right now? Well, I did very good. Okay, here we go. This is the Ogre Kingdoms.
Now voice in our ears but the more we raise the sound of its tone. We'll thunder and feast on any man, any beast. Doesn't matter, we'll snack on them all. The stragglers we didn't consume are dropped in our sacrifice too. They scream and they run, but that's part of the fun, 'cause the ogres are coming to get ya! Then we kill for the more, the power and love for
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so that was the Ogre Kingdoms right there. Very, very fun stuff. Give us the Greaseless FFA win. Oh, God. You want the Ikit trailer? We can do the Ikit trailer. Oh, we have the finalists. Okay, don't... let me set this up. And then we're going to close the stream with the one that Frost sent us, which is the... Okay, Ikit... So the Ikit Claw trailer is really good. It's the Skaven versus the Lizardmen. The Prophet and the Warlock, yeah. It's based on the Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like literally like copied from the Predator movie, like screen for screen. It's hilarious. All right, guys, let's do it. That trailer's so freaking good. Yeah, medieval fantasy, by the way. All right. So I'm glad I didn't miss the finals. That was so good, dude. I could watch Total War trailers all day. They're so freaking good. Ladies and gentlemen of the old world, I hereby welcome you to the grand finals of today's tournament. It is going to be the Kraken King himself, Anticity, spawning in on the east side of the map, playing as the glorious Sons of Sigmar. So playing as the Empire, as that is his faction today. And he's going to be facing Maximillionaire, one of the most evil vampires out there. And he's very, very good at vampire counts, probably the strongest vampire count player in the community right now. So it's going to be the quintessential battle for Central Empire. You know, you have Sylvania versus the Empire here. And let's go ahead and break down the armies. So Anticity is going to be doing a big wall of just cheap, crappy infantry. State troopers, you know, you don't need good quality infantry to fight against like zombies and skeletons, right? So he's going to be a battle line, a spaghetti line, I should say, of state troopers, and he's going to be using war wagons. So war wagons are his quintessential tactic. Very, very good with these things, and using them to snipe the big, hard-hitting elements of the enemy army is going to be good. And the Lord for Anticity is going to be Balthazar Gelt on foot. So this is his Lord, a very cheap wizard on foot with Final Transmutation, which is a spell that damages enemy units by literally turning them into gold. So pretty funny stuff. So yeah, a lot of troopers backed up by war wagons, and on the outside we do have some of the fanatics of Sigmar, and they're going to be coming in with the flagellants, getting ready to take some of these guys to Pound Town as well. Now, looking here at Maximilian, he's going to be Vanguard deploying some Crypt Ghouls. So these are units that can spawn outside of your spawn zone in the beginning. His Lord is going to be a Necrarch Vampire Lord with Spirit Leech, Raise Dead, and Invocation of Nehek. So Spirit Leech is a direct damage spell, Raise Dead summons zombies, and Invocation heals your undead units, which is quite good. On top of that, we do have some White Kings. White Kings are hero units for the forces of the vampires. They're basically legendary whites that are very, very tough fighters, incredibly tough to break off objectives. And the rest of the army is going to be skeletons, zombies, cryptors to deal with Empire-heavy cavalry, as well as corpse guards, which if you look, they give an aura radius. So everybody in that circle is going to be healing, have better leadership, and also have better combat stats. So having this thing parked near your armies is quite good. So the Empire War Wagon's doing a little bit of skirmishing, going to be unleashing a salvo into the heroic characters here on the ground. Maximilian are going to be trying to juke with those bad boys. We're going to have to see how that goes. And the Empire are going to be calling in some Empire Knights, whereas on the far side, the Flagellants of Sigmar are kind of getting bullied a little bit. They are attacked by the Vampire Lord as well. The Necrarch Vampire Lord is not a slouch of a fighter. He's going to be able to do some work and help the Crypt Ghouls win this fight that normally would be kind of close. So looking at the objective situation, Objective 2 belongs to the Empire. Objective 1 is contested, but looks like the vampires are going to find a way to hold on to that. The wagons are circling the characters, actually, so not engaging against the vampiric characters is very clever. You know, vampires are very strong in melee, and kiting them and shooting them with the war wagons is very, very smart. Over here on the far side, we do have Empire Knights moving in, getting a sandwiching charge into the Crypt Ghouls. So also for anybody newer to the game, when you look at a unit, you can see a charge bonus, which means when they get a charge attack on somebody, they get a bonus to their stats. So typically cavalry units will be way stronger when they charge you, and then their effectiveness peters out over time. Now there are some units that are a little bit different, and they are good perpetually in combat and on the charge, but you know, it depends on the unit. But yeah, these characters getting sniped, I love what Anticity is doing with this. You know, dragging around these expensive vampire characters and just, you know, trying to snipe them using the war wagon shooting as well as his mage is very clever. On the outside objective, it looks like the Empire has been able to get the capture weight here, but the Spearmen will not have really good killing power. The Vampires might be able to outgrind them on this point, especially with some ghouls in here. We're going to have to see how these swordsmen do. Back on the middle objective, Final Transmutation going down. That's a huge AoE damage spell, draining the health off all these units by turning them into gold. And one of the White Kings gets pounded. The other one is being sniped by the War Wagons. The vampire character attempting to use Invocation of Nehek to heal him. We're going to see if it's going to be enough as he does run away. His leadership is below 0, which means he's going to start crumbling. He's at negative 13. So when undead units go below leadership instead of running, they take damage. So that's one of the downsides of those bad boys, right? So the War Wagons are getting some beautiful poke. We do see the White King at 465 HP. Getting a kill on one of those White Kings now would be huge. And he crumbles to dust. So one of the very powerful undead characters is already dead. Granted, he only cost 700 gold, but still a nice catch. In the meantime, Anticity on the outside here, going to be using Empire Knights to flank in, while his State Troopers are holding back the undead units. The Corpse Guard is giving a lot of viability to those undead, and a lot of reinforcements arriving. The Man-Tide is coming in, and currently Anticity is doing a really good job playing the outside objectives. You see this, guys? He's ignoring this powerhouse of vampire strength in the middle, which is 2 freaking Crypt Horrors, a Corpse Cart, good quality infantry, and he's bouncing between the sides with his mobility and basically just outmaneuvering the Vampire Count army a little bit right now. Currently, Anticity is up 2,700. And the War Wagons are going to snipe the other White King character most likely. I'm not sure what they're going to be targeting. We will have to see. Mike popping a bit. Thank you, man. Yeah, I have this I got this add-on thing that's supposed to help with that, but I'll keep investigating. Maybe I need to move it away from my face a little bit. So, the battle continues to rage on, and here we are going to be seeing the Necrarch Vampire. Oh, what a good play. So he summons zombies behind the Empire Heavy Cavalry to trap them. A very veteran, very, very high skill tactic there. And then when they're trapped, he calls in Vargeist, which are hardcore anti-cav armor-piercing units to descend, and the bats are going to start ripping shit up. Oh, that was such a good play right there. So now we're going to see these Empire Knights being absolutely massacred as they're trapped in by zombies. See, they can't escape. They can't push out. Another Spirit Leech going down from the Vampiric Lord right there on top of Balthazar Gelt. So the Necrarch Vampire Lord trying to finish off the Lord of the Empire, but the Lord of the Empire returning the favor, ordering his wagons in the sky to shoot the Necrarch Vampire Lord and do what you can. So some of the Empire Knights are going to be trying to flee right there. Looking on the outside objective here, we do see a couple Spearmen and Empire Knights fighting against the Crypt Ghouls. Should be able to win that fight. And Maximilian calling in some Vargeists to try and descend and finish off the Empire Knights. But if the Empire Knights stay on top of the Spearmen, they might be able to win that fight against the Vargeists. We'll have to see. Empire not even really playing the middle. So Anticity, the Empire player, basically sacrificed 1 Spearman to just kind of occupy this force. It's a big mistake by Max not to maneuver over maybe some Crypt Horrors or something. Hard to say. But Empire Knight's getting massacred by the bats back here, so the Vargheist doing quite a bit of work, ripping those guys to shreds. Meanwhile, Demogryph Knights are on standby, clearing off some zombies, and the Empire is still maintaining the capture weight on this objective, while the War Wagons, oh, huge AoE damage! Huge AoE damage right there. Nails everything. Corpse cart, skeletons, hits the entire undead army, doing quite a bit of damage right there. While the Necroarch Vampire Lord, the Lord of the Vampires, not looking so hot. He's down to 2,500 HP, looking like he could use some milk. Demogryph Knights clearing out some of the zombies as more Vargheist are going to be called in. On the outside of the formation, we do see a bit of a pit fight over here. Spearmen and Empire Knights trying to fight these units off. But Maximilianaire detaches a couple units from the middle objective, and he's going to move over here to this side. There is a max amount of final chance, a max amount of units. Some abilities do have that, but I'm pretty sure it can hit as many units as possible if they're in a blob. So, yeah. Yeah, Vampires might be able to wrestle this one, which is going to be interesting because if Anticity loses this outside objective here, he's going to have to probably find a way to rotate to the middle as a counterplay right there. Oh, the Empire's going for a bit of a surround, so they're surrounding the undead. When you charge a unit in its backside here, it does actually cause penalties. Being attacked in the flank, it causes leadership penalties, right? Balthazar Gelt's getting a little bit low. The Lord of the Empire could be in serious danger here. He's being heavily targeted by the Spirit Leech, and the one White King who was able to survive is attempting to hunt him down here. We're going to see if he can get away. Oh, the Vampire Lord's going to be descending from the skies to try and kill Balthazar Gelt, or is he going to stay up in the sky and let his minions do his dirty work? Probably going to be the second option, as Balthazar Gelt does retreat through his own infantry, which is a good call, although it looks like he's actually just naturally broken there. All right, guys, game's getting a little bit hog wild. Objective number 2 belongs to Anticity and the Empire. And look at that, the Empire was able to roll in and steal objective number 2 using just copious amounts of infantry. And the War Wagons as well. The Wagons are using their powder fire. They're shooting into the Cryptors. Cryptors are also pretty terrible into spears as well. So the Spearmen are going to be able to poke back against these big monsters. And the Wagon fire from downtown, providing some really, really nice supporting fire as well, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So the battle does rage on. Objective 2 belonging to the Empire. Demogryph Knights coming in. Oh, man, the Vampire Lord getting sniped a little bit. Oh, he's not paying attention. He's not watching his Lord. Oh, the Wagons might get a kill right here. 1,200 HP. Anticity is following him, getting underneath him to make sure he can get a maximum shot. Oh, dude. Vampire Lord's about to get dicked so bad. Oh, he notices. Is he going to get away? Is Anticity paying attention? Oh, the Wagons shoot. He's at 900 HP, 800 HP, 390, 247. He's at negative 48. He tries to heal himself, but maybe it's going to be a little bit too late. Negative 18. He's healing. He's being targeted. He's trying to juke. You can dodge bullets in this game. You can matrix them. It's hard, but it can be done. So 500 HP. The Vampire barely survives. Barely survives and gets away. Holy shit. He's at 4 leadership right now. He's very close to disintegrating to dust. Very close. If the Vampire Lord dies, it's basically game over. On the middle objective, it looks like the Vargheist are attacking some of the Empire Knights, but Demogryph Knights can defeat them pretty decisively in combat if they wheel over and help out. We're going to see how that goes. Vampire Lord trying to finish off the Lord of the Empire with a Spirit Leech. Oh, he might get him. Balthazar Gelt's spirit is being drained by the vampiric magic right now. 200, 268, negative 3, 1. And does he cast a spell before he goes? It looks like he did. Okay, I think he tried to cast something there. I'm not sure. But yeah, Balthazar Gelt is broken. The Vampire Lord does stabilize. Vampires are notoriously hard to kill. They have healing. They heal when they're attacking in melee because they're like drinking the blood of the people they attack, and they also do have healing spells. So very tough. So looking over towards objective number 2, we do see the Sons of Sigmar holding on to this one. Objective number 1 belongs to the Kraken King Anticity. Balthazar Gelt is fleeing the scene, but the Lord of the Empire isn't as important. The vampire counts are much more dependent on their lords than the Empire. That is for sure. But overall, we do see the Vampires making a surge towards the middle objective. Demogryph Knights are running interference and blocking a lot of the reinforcements. Anticity is doing a pretty clever play here by calling in Flagellants en masse. These are unbreakable fanatics of the Empire. So when it comes to holding objectives in the late game and clearing through just copious amounts of... I don't know, I use that word too much. I think I heard it on like a radio podcast. It's like imprinted in my head now. But a lot of these guys, the Flagellants will be very good at holding them at bay. They're not going to be giving ground, right? Objective 1, firmly in the clutches of the Empire. The War Wagons are almost out of ammunition, and now they're going to be unsummoned. So in this game, you can unsummon units to send them back to your pool, where it takes time for them to rebuild, and then you can call them back. So they're going to be unsummoned. That's what that little timer is right there. So they'll be disappearing off the battlefield. Since they're out of ammunition, it's not a bad idea anyways, and you do get a partial refund if they're still healthy. And the Vampire Lord's still going strong. Now, is Count Chocula going to be able to find a way back into the game? Is it going to be happening here today, ladies and gentlemen? Objective 2 belongs to the Empire, but there's a big resurgence of the undead. And remember, the Empire Lord, Balthazar Gelt, he's about to flee off the battlefield. He's like, screw this shit, I'm near death. He's not unbreakable. So that's going to be a problem. Like, the entire Empire army is going to take a leadership penalty. Can a Maximilianaire get back in this game? With vampires, you can't really take the value like at face value up in the top because they have a lot of healing, which mitigates the gold damage value that your opponent has gotten in with you, right? So that's that can 100% happen. Yeah, Anticity unsummons the wagons. We do see objective 1 starting to flip into the favor of the vampire counts, guys. It's happening a little bit. Middle objective belongs to Anticity here, but for how much longer, guys? Maximilianaire might be able to find a way back into this game. It's going to be kind of sketchy. 4,000 is a lot, but you'd be surprised. Vampiric healing is pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. Flagellant's going to be rushing against the Skeleton Spears here. Should be able to win that fight, so they're going to be engaging against one another. The call has happened. Anticity did just spend his resources, I think, calling the wagons back in. So the wagons, somehow Palpa Wagon has returned. So the wagons have gone back to the Empire camp. They've replenished their ammunition, and now they are back in business. So we're going to see if the Flagellants can defeat the Filthy Undead here. In the meantime, the vampires are counter-pushing and getting a lot of objectives back. Guys, you have to remember, the AoE healing from the Vampire Lord. The corpse carts provide constant healing to nearby undead. Crypt Horrors, they passively regenerate themselves. So you need to be ahead of the vampires pretty hard to actually beat them. It's not an easy feat, guys. Over here, the Flagellant's going to defeat the Skeleton Spearmen. The wagons have come back. Demogorgon Knights as well have returned. And as it currently stands, here's the thing, guys. Anticity will win by just holding one objective. He held the triple cap for so long, I want some water real quick, that he can actually win by just cackling on one objective, ladies and gentlemen. So the vampires, it's going to be on them because the vampires relinquish the objectives for most of the game. So Anticity can just win by holding one objective here, right? Balthazar Gelt, he is healed, he has been mended, and he is back in business. The Empire Lord has returned, maybe has a little bit more magic to use in the fourth quarter here today, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, here it comes. The war wagons are there, and it looks like the Empire is not going to be just defending Objective 3. They're actually opting, he's going to Super Turtle. Well, yes, you're allowed to Super Turtle in this game if you earn it by controlling the objectives for most of the game, right? It's very, very possible. It's a tactic, actually. Some people play that way. They'll try and be aggressive on objectives and then turtle on their objective once they get far enough ahead. There's so many layers of tactics and strategy in Total War Competitive. It's pretty nuts. Oh, but the sneaky Crypt Ghouls on the other side. These guys are invisible until you get close to them. They do have stock, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or, oh, wait, it's not the ROR. Maybe they don't. Yeah, they do have stock. Okay. So the Crypt Ghouls make it to the objective, and Anticity might get ninja'd on the other side. Oh, my God. Maximilianaire could find his way back into the game. Anticity needs to go get that objective and make sure he doesn't lose it. Bats being called in. Fellbats are a tar-pitting unit. He's using them to attack this. Dude, Anticity's going to throw. He's letting those sneaky ghouls steal his outside objective. Oh, no. Anticity might be throwing right now, guys. Although maybe he's going to be able to get the outside objective here. Dude, pull your wagons back. He realizes it. You see, he just noticed. He just gave the movement order, and he's going to be going back to try and stabilize his objective. I think Anticity's best chance to win is the Helm's Deep. Yeah, he needs to get the wagons back. So the wagons each have 3 capture weight, 3, 6, 9 versus 5 on the ghouls. So 2 wagons will out-capture 1 ghoul. Get on the objective. Oh, it's so close. Holy shit, it's close. Okay, the wagons do arrive, and they start to run into the ghouls, doing, oh my God, insane chariot damage. Holy shit, I didn't know they did that much damage, but they do get in there. Hey, Chimando, thank you for being a member for that long. Appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words, brother. Sorry, I'm in the heat of the moment. All right, so the objective is stabilized. We see state troopers being called in. Where are the Free Company Militia? He needs Free Company Militia. Man, oh man. Oh, and Anticity doing a split push. He's pushing both sides. So we do see the Spearmen coming out to try and ninja this objective here. Oh, and the Gold Wizard getting a final transmutation. The Lord of the Vampires could be crumbling to dust here. The Vampiric Lord descending from the skies to attack Balthazar Gelt before he potentially dies. 319 HP. Balthazar Gelt with the sword attack. He's not somebody who normally fights in melee, ladies and gentlemen. But can Balthazar Gelt finish off the Vampiric Lord? We're going to have to see in a second. The Empire looks like they're going to be stealing the outside objective as well. And, oh, Balthazar Gelt, he smote his ruins upon the mountain. The Vampire Lord defeated by the Supreme Patriarch of the Empire. Let's frickin' go. I always like seeing vampires, get banished. Unless it's Warcraft 3, and then I want them to win there. So, ladies and gentlemen, Objective 3 taken by the Empire, but the vampires are going to steal it, but he held it long enough to do a split push on the other side and steal this objective here. And now there's way too much capture weight. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a victory for the Empire, most likely. I just think the Vampires don't have enough time to get these objectives back. As a matter of fact, I think the Empire, with the Vampire Lord being dead, when the Lord of the Vampires dies, it's real. Look at the base leadership of these skeletons. It's freaking 24, right? It's going to be so incredibly easy to break those guys down. And the Sons of Sigmar look like they have done it. Where's the horse and the wagon? They're here, dude. Fear them. And Demogryphs. I mean, it's a pretty combined forces army. Anticity's using pretty much most of the Empire roster. Looking pretty good. But beautiful stuff indeed. The Empire also going to steal the middle of the Vampires with some momentum on the outside here. But, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see any comeback. The Supreme Patriarch has gotten the job done. Wagons are very good, but they have plenty of counters. The Vampires are kind of weak to them, though. But, it's a really fun matchup, honestly. Really, really fun matchup. You can run them down. Sometimes you can chase them with heavy cavalry. There's a couple different ways to do it. Excuse me. Damn cough. Wait a second. Is there a chance the Vampires get this outside objective in time? We got, 20 seconds left, give or take. Spearmen are holding the point. Middle objective is going to be going to the Empire. This game is actually really close. Like, the Vampires are scrapping super hard. I think them losing their Lord was the straw that's going to break the back here. Demogryph Knights rolling over to the middle. Middle objective going to be flipping to the Empire. Vampires actually stealing the outside objective. Man, he is scrappy, dude. But he knows there's not enough time. He taps out. Victory for the Sons of Sigmar. Yeah, Anticity is a top 5 player in the world. No, he's top 5 in the world. Empire is not broken. Empire is considered a mid-tier faction, actually. Yeah. Balthazar Gelt with only 1,300 value with his magic. Wagons got, nothing crazy. 14, 17, 14, and 1,000. But remember, they were summoned twice. So, they actually didn't even really... They kind of paid for themselves, basically. Demogryphs are pretty Chad as well. Necrarch, Vampire Lord. I feel like the magic for the Vampires wasn't great. Yeah, the Vargeist are badass, though. Those things do some work. Empire, Anticity makes it look easy, but the Empire is one of the hardest factions in the game to use. The faction that he won with, because your troopers are really flimsy, and you have to really micro and target priority very well. Let me show you guys real quick, actually. Hold on. So Empire is a 47% win rate faction right now. They are favored against Vampire Counts, in my opinion. But yeah, Anticity is one of the best players in the world. Let's see his ranking right now, actually. So he just won the tournament. It will be updating on the leaderboard relatively soon. Yeah, the crumbling doesn't show up on value either. I'm scared that for the next time I face Max. Yeah, he's very good. So Anticity is currently the number 3 ranked. Oh, actually, hold on. I think he just took over the number 2 spot. Yeah, Anticity just took over the number 2 spot. So he's number 2 in the world behind Oishi right now. So we'll see. This weekend, by the way, he's going to be playing and looking for a spot in the Hall of Fame. So Hall of Fame this weekend, we have a major Season 9 Grand Finals. So Anticity's playing in that this weekend, so that'll be fun. We'll see who's going to be winning a major event, which is going to be super fun. You want a tier list? If you want a tier list, look at the stats. It's not it's pretty close to accurate, honestly. If you look at the stats on Total Tavern, you can see what the strongest factions are, and it's relatively accurate. I mean, there are some nuances that for highly competitive play, but for the average player, you're full of Canadian pride. Yep, powerful Canadians, dude. The wrath of the maple syrup. We're going to watch a trailer. Let's see. Before we go. Yeah, let's watch a couple trailers. Let's chill out. Yeah, that'll be fun. But that is the tournament. Okay, let me check here. Okay, just a little bit of admin stuff there. Yeah, they're low sample sizes on a lot of them, correct. But it's still more or less accurate. One of my glorious mods, Peeling and Frost, have sent me this other one here. Let's go. Hey, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, man. Let me open this one up. So this was like a parody trailer. This one. This was this is the original game trailer, but it's also like a parody because they added a commentary. Yeah. It's not always best of 1. No, oftentimes it's best of 3 and best of 5. We have different types of tournaments. Tonight was what's called the single faction tournament. It's a more casual, faster tournament, so you don't get trapped in an 8-hour event. Yeah, but most of the time it's best of 3 or best of 5, or even best of 7 sometimes. Yeah, it really depends. Okay, let's go to the capture here. You guys want to see an FFA? We could do that maybe. We'll see. All right, that's okay. This is like a parody trailer.
Sega.
Oh, that was like a jump scare. Okay, here we go. Warhammer 1. Dude, when this trailer was out, I was in my like mid-20s. It's crazy how old this is. Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that. Yeah. Hey. Sega! What's Sega? Who's that? Who's these then? I ain't heard of none of these tribes. We'll sort them out anyway. Bring them on! Now, what's going on here? Yeah, me and the lads do a nice job doing up that crumbly old ruin. We'll start with smashing that flouncy Yumi! Look at him!
For though I
Books? Who needs them?
It feeds.
Yeah.
It grows, devouring all.
We devour you, mate.
Final answer to halt its
I love that. He's like, devour you, mate.
tide of war.
Yeah, we're coming.
Endless.
Or even I think the boss is zogging terrible breath. Yeah, green skins. Don't scare us.
The brutal, unthinking bloodlust of the greenskins. The twisted ambitions of the
Diddens! Don't like them eyes. The Doom Divers are better flyers anyway. Pathetic. Call that flying?
Although the brave
Aha!
Dwarven
The
king
stun is.
stands with us.
Yeah. Squash them, lads!
What hope is there?
Send in the spiders! Go on! Eat them alive!
Cannot be named.
Yeah!
Let alone
Call
force
friends!
water
Yeah.
means.
These posh bloody Yumis! The Griffin man with his hammer! I like to slobber him with it! Yeah, that's nothing but squiffy light! Give me the bad moon any day! Squash them, lads! Hey! What's that? What's he doing? What's it? He's not right. He's had too many shrooms. Oh, that's quite scary, actually.
It is.
Look at the state of him, though. He's blue.
It is unstoppable.
He's turning into a shaman shroom. What's he? Unstoppable. You're having a laugh. Wait till we get hold of you, me.
The world.
Oh, very clever. But what does it mean? Yeah! Your rules might have changed, but we're gonna break 'em! What's that? Yeah! Stupid bird ain't got nothing on the power of the war! Let's go, lads! To war!
That was a pretty good one. Yeah, so that was like a parody video they did when the game first came out. Yeah, the ever chicken himself. Yeah, yeah, good times, man. The dude. Oh God. Oh, when that trailer came out, I was like, oh man, I was like 27, dude. Oh God, I was all youthful and shit. I'm like 40. I'm not 40. I'm 36, but we're getting there. All right, we're getting there. All right. So now what we could do is, you guys want to see what it looks like to play this game from... Hang on a sec. So we can do this. All right. I'll show you guys more or less what it looks like here. Anybody who wants to join and play, come join the party. Yeah, and I'll play like a live game so you guys can see what that looks like. Probably get wrecked. I haven't played in a couple weeks. I legit haven't played a game since the like. This is gonna be my first one in a while. So we're gonna go and we're gonna play. Let's play a little bit of I don't know. Fuck, there's so many factions. Jesus, man. We could do. So we're playing out of region. Play a faction you didn't see tonight. Okay. Play the Tomb Kings. Yeah, we do a little Tomb Kings action. So these are the. Oh, you want the Skaven? Okay, I could do Skaven actually. Yeah, you guys haven't seen the Rat People. Tomb King's good, right? Don't you guys want to see some big, cool constructs and shit? You haven't played since you saw your 69 wins. I have 69 wins on the tournament leaderboard right now. Yeah. We'll do some Tomb Kings, guys. They're fun. Out of region, what are you playing, man? Lock it in, brother. I have to bring the Titan? Oh, God. I mean, Okay, he's going Skaven. Okay, he's going rats. This is you sure you want to go Skaven? This matchup is pretty favored for Tomb Kings. You can switch to somebody else if you want, brother. If you don't want to, it's fine. I'll bring some meme units to make it more fair. So typically Tomb Kings are very favored against Skaven, like very favored. But I'll bring some meme shit. I'm not gonna go meta here. That would be boring. Okay, do I have a blocker? Let me get an army blocker. I'm gonna do this so I can surprise you guys. Alright, let's do this. So you have undead Egyptians versus rat people. Here we go. Let's do... Oh, this is going to be a good blocker for sure. All right, guys. I got my army blocker here. That's my old dog, by the way. That was Wookie. He looks like... All right. Tell me that doesn't look like James Hetfield from Metallica. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Here we go now. Dude, it's James Hetfield. Does that not look like the lead singer of Metallica? That's what I always thought. You know, your heart beats for the rodents. I don't blame you, honestly. Okay. So, how do we want to do this? Looks like a baked Wookie. Yeah, he was a great little dog. He was super fun. Little gremlin and a half he was. Okay. He looks like James Hetfield. He does. Yeah. Yeah, we're just playing a 1v1. I wanted to show some of the new folks what a 1v1 looks like. Yeah. Okay. God, I'm so rusty, man. I haven't played in a hot minute, man. So I'm not going the most meta build. I think we'll be okay. Okay, that looks fine. And what else do we want to bring here? What's the range on those? Yeah, a little bit risky. He wasn't a pug. He was like an Affenpinscher mixed with like a couple other things. Yeah, he was a great dog though. I mean, he hated me. He loved my wife. I was like a piece of trash to him. Okay, this is what I'm bringing is incredibly risky, but we're gonna try and make it work. Okay, we're gonna try and make it work. Oh yes. Let the Nurglings feast. Okay, so let's do this, and we're gonna go ahead and do that and that. Don't need this. That's fine. Cut that out. Cut one of you guys. Okay. So yeah, this isn't gonna be a competitive build, I don't think. Maybe it'll be okay. I'm not sure. Get you in the back. And what else do we want to bring? I'm not crazy though, right? You guys see the James Hetfield thing? I feel like you remember how in the 90s during like the Load and Reload albums of Metallica, James Hetfield had like that like biker kind of like goatee thing? I feel like he has that here as well. Yeah, I feel it a little bit. Maybe I'm just crazy. That's probably in all reality the case here. All right, good luck, have fun. Let's see what's cooking, man. We can maybe do actually one of those. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Okay. We're all a little bit crazy. Yeah, that's true. Should make a Photoshop of the dog as Karanak with 3 heads. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, he was a noble beast. He was. He lived to be pretty old. He lived to be like 17, which is pretty old for such a dog. Hey, darling, are you back? Josh. The lovely wife just got back. Yeah, so Wookie loved my wife. I was like, if my wife was like out, she was out doing something, you know, and I was alone with the dog, he would be nice to me. He would like treat me okay. But as soon as she came home, I was just a piece of trash. He would look at me like I was subhuman. Yeah. All right, so this is how it would look in a competitive battle, right? You load in, you have your army. And the first stage before you hit the start battle button is you deploy your forces, right? So you need to like kind of decide, am I going to be sending to the middle? Like which objectives am I going to be playing? You know, there's a lot of layers of tactics, right? So yeah, you need to be cognizant of that. We're playing against the Skaven. They can do a lot of sneakiness. We have a wizard, a lord, yes. So archers in the back here, looking nice. And here's my lord. He's like a evil death wizard. Yeah, I brought something even cool. Not as cool as the Titan, but something very cool. So he's fun. He's basically like Skeletor from He-Man. Yeah. Oh, blocker's still on? No, it should be gone now. Okay. We brought catapults, but check this thing out. This thing is called the Casket of Souls. This is the meme unit I brought. It's a long-range artillery piece that shoots out like the souls of the dead from this casket, and it gives you recharge. So the Casket of Souls gives me more magic usage, which is really, really fun. So we brought that, and my opponent will probably find a way to shut this shit down. Out of region's very good, and I don't know. If he memes hard, I might have a chance, but I am quite out of practice. We also brought a chariot, which is really fun. So we have a chariot there to run over some of the rats. 4 and 5 and 6. And there we go. So that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get cooking. He's ready to go. So then the battle starts, and the first things first, you move up and start getting ready to contest the objectives, right? So we'll do this. We will do a little bit of this as well. So we're going to call in some horsemen for reinforcements, send them over there. Move up, and I think I'm going to move the artillery up a little bit to try and get better angles on his units. And he might be doing like a mass invisible type army, which is pretty funny. It does work. So we're going to get you guys. We're going to park you in the woods to prevent flanking. And we're going to move up and see what he's doing. Okay, so we have Throt the Unclean and a Packmaster. Okay, so, oh, he's going with the big rats. Yeah, so these are rats riding even bigger, angrier rats, which is pretty funny. All right, so we're going to tell these guys not to fire at will. We're going to move up to the point. You guys are going to grab this outside objective here. And in the meantime, you need to go over there and hold that point. Okay. So nothing to shoot at quite yet. He's not in range with his mainline army. But we are moving up. So we're going to scoot up. We're going to scoot up here, and we're going to scoot you up. And we're going to start blasting here in a minute. So we need to wait for his rats to get a little bit closer and watch out for his lord here. So, all right. Let's go ahead and unlock the group here. Have you guys do this. And I could Spirit Leech you. I'm going to start working on his lord, just trying to wear that thing down. So we're going to see what we can do. Yeah, we're going to hit him with the magic. He's coming in to try and dive. He's coming after my lord. He wants it. He wants it bad, see? So he's like straight hunting me here. So we're going to go ahead and get some of these horsemen and have them just go after this. He does do the little rat ogre summon and then does that and that and that. All right. So archers here. Let's get you guys right there on the Hell Pit Abomination. And we're going to have to fight these stinky rats here. Not going to be easy. So let's do the debuff. On the outside, we do have rats actually flanking us. So rats are coming here. So we're going to relinquish this. Move up on the point here. Get you guys up on the point there. And we're going to see what kind of work we can get done. Probably calling in a Nushapti Greatbow would be the best bet, I would wager. What are these? These are ogres, so let's come back this way, and hopefully we can start to get the objectives. All right, so I do have another Spirit Leech. We're going to go ahead and use it on you and try and wear you down. I could call in some Nehakar Horsemen, but I think the Ushapti in the back would probably be my best bet. Let's get the Spears units moving in to fight those ogres, and we need to run away with you and drop a little Skeleton Summon to provide some buffering here. All right, so yeah, we're moving up. We're going to get you guys going here, you guys going here. You guys take the attack order here, and now we're going to get the Ushapti Greatbows in the back, and we need to snipe this Skaven Lord. He's doing some really, really good pressure here. So yeah, we need to do that. So catapults, shoot here. Casket of Souls, shoot here, and we're going to get you shooting over there with the Spearman units reinforcing. And Ark in the Black just needs to basically cackle away here. All right. So Casket of Souls could be in some trouble. He could be in a little bit of danger here. We're going to go do this, see if we can save this thing. And we do see the Hell Pit Abomination diving really, really deeply here. So let's call in some Chaff Horsemen to tar pit this thing. We're going to tar pit it a little bit, pull you back, do this. And the archers need to start shooting at you. And these archers need to start shooting at you as well, while the Roomba is going to keep running and the horsemen can keep jamming. All right, so up in the front lines, it's a little bit of a messy fight. We're going to need to get some picks here if we want to do well, though, for sure. Maybe we can get a break on this thing's leadership. I don't know if that's going to be possible. We're going to try. But moving across, those are triads. Yeah, maybe the chariot can go hammer down the triads and get behind them and maybe do a little bit of a flank charge. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, so the Roomba is back online. Hell Pit Abomination is getting chased. We're going to see if we can grind that thing down. I really didn't bring any anti-large, so I'm actually pretty poorly equipped to deal with this army, that's for sure. And we do get some nasty pressure in the backfield here. So we're going to call in the Nehakar Horsemen, have them charge here. We're going to use the Ushapti Summon to help with that. Keep running away with you guys and see if we can stabilize our backfield eventually. All right, how are the archers looking? Maybe this guy gets dragged down. We'll have to see. In the meantime, you guys can go right here. Let's get the chariot to go over there. And the mainline fighting is a little bit messy. All right, so we're going to keep running, keep getting you away. And the Hell Pit Abomination is getting low, but is it getting low quick enough? Ushapti Greatbow is going to keep running away. And we're going to call in a light cab unit to tar pit Throt, try and keep the Ushapti alive. See what is cooking. Yeah, if we can get this rat off the battlefield, this big one, that's going to be incredibly strong. That'll be very, very good. All right, so you guys charge across there. We still have the catapults shooting, so let's go here. Let's get the Doom Roomba to shoot at these guys. And can we break the big rat in the back? Maybe, maybe. All right, so Throt is there. Let's get the Ushopti Grapos to start targeting here. We do have some carrion. I don't know how I want to use them. It's a little bit tricky. Let's get the Roomba away here, and we're going to go ahead and call in some flying units to try and fly over the top here and get these. And I'm going to use a Doom and Darkness to try and break this thing's leadership and see if we can maybe get it off the field. Very risky here. Very, very risky. All right, so we're going to retreat you. Arkin needs to get away. Let's use the Staff from Nagash. Spirit Leech this thing again, and maybe get a break on it. We're going to find out. All right, so you're back. We do manage to break the rats over here, so let's move over there and try and grab this point. How are the Bone Daddies doing here? They're doing all right. And we do get the Casket of Souls, so let's start shooting here. Get you guys to attack into the Eshin Triads there. And Throth the Unclean is actually a little bit surrounded. He's not in the best of shape. We might be able to get some cheesiness on the Lord here. Let's see if we can get you guys fully out of here. And we're going to call in another flying unit to rear charge Throth and see if we can maybe break him, you know? Maybe we can. Maybe I should have been Spirit Leeching him, right? Okay, he's actually shaken right now, so we're going to go ahead and do I have any debuffs? I do not. Let's take down the big monster. And on the outside, how are we looking? All right, so yeah, we need to finish off these damn Doom Flayers. Throt might be able to squeak away. Pun completely intended. You know, he's very, very low here. Maybe we can break his leadership. Ushopti Grapos need to keep finishing this. And I think, do we try and break him? Ooh, I get caught in a big cleansing rune. That's going to hurt. All right, let's get the Fizzres there. Hell Pit Abomination's almost pinned down. Casket of Souls, unfortunately, is dying here. And in the backside, we can call in some... I don't even know. Some Nehekar Horsemen, I guess, would be good. Yeah, let's try and get that Hell Pit Abomination offline. Problem is I don't have any objectives, so I'm very pinned back on objectives. He's playing like a very aggressive style, so that's a little bit dodgy there. Yeah, we lost our Casket of Souls. Feels bad. And let's do Doom and Darkness here. Oh, this could be the play. Yeah, we broke his Lord. Okay, his Lord's broken. He's gone. Okay, I got him. So now we chase that shit off the battlefield with all these guys. Yeah, that's got to be money. And you chase down the Packmaster. My Lord is still alive. Hell Pit's going. Okay, there's actually a chance for me to win this game now. There's actually a chance. It's going to be hard, but it's not impossible. All right, let's get you guys back up here. The Lord is going to get escorted off the battlefield, so we got to make sure he's fully gone. Let's get this Hell Pit Abomination gone too. And yeah, that's pretty big actually, guys. It's pretty big, but the question is, am I going to have enough time? So let's call you guys in. Let's do this. Get the infantry moving there. Hell Pit Abomination is almost broken. I don't want to get my Lord sniped, so we got to be careful. He has been chased off the battlefield, so that is massive. And Hell Pit Abomination is wavering. It's very, very low on leadership. Ushopti Grapos need to try and find a way to get out of here. Perfect. So those rats are going to get escorted, and he's going to have a big leadership problem. Now that his Lord's gone, okay, his Lord's gone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are cooking. We are in shape. We killed this big monster back here, so we're going to let it get chased, and we're going to move up. And as long as I don't get my big man kind of punished, yeah, he's going to try and use his points lead now. You know, that's the plan. And let's shoot here. Do this. All right, so a couple big plays there have done well for us. In the meantime, what do we have here that needs to be shot? Mainly Clan Rats, Warlock Engineer, I guess, could be shot, but we need to go get on you guys. And everybody else just hustle towards the middle. You guys can go to the back objective and try and ninja that. And I don't have too much time, but there is time here. It's possible. You know, I could still win this. I could definitely still win this. All right, so you guys go over there. Archers have chased them down. Let's get some light horsemen to get these ogres off the battlefield and swarm them. And we're going to go ahead and do a Doom and Darkness here on the Warlock Engineer. Oh, my Lord might die too. He's getting hit with the Cleansing Rune. It's big damage. All right, we need to just Spirit Leech. My Lord's going to die also. So we're just going to cast whatever spells we can before he dies. Yeah, so we just cast all his magic, and then we just move up. So my Lord is cooked. It's way worse for my opponent, though. My opponent's army is much more vulnerable against leadership kills and like Lord deaths and things like that. So yeah, so we are moving towards the back objective. Considering he has capped me pretty hard for so long, I need to start playing for his back objective, right? So we gotta play all three objectives here. Yeah, 100%. So let's get those ogres. Let's get you guys back here. Let's do this. Ushopti Grapos are moving up. We're chasing these, and we'd have a lot of capture weight coming here. And also, you guys can go up there too. All right. So middle objective is looking okay for us. These are rat ogres. These are skeleton horsemen. So let's get in there, try and take those guys down, and we're gonna move up. Skaven are a faction that really struggle to not having their Lord. Like they struggle. They'll be in Struggle City for sure. All right, Ushopti Grapos need to target you. And do we have anything fast we can call out here? Maybe some skeleton spearmen or something. Yeah, the question is, am I going to be able to get like the objectives back in time? All right, let's move up there. Skeleton horsemen actually kind of losing that fight. I'm surprised. I thought they would. Yeah, I guess ogres are reasonably strong. Okay, so the Packmaster is looking very flimsy, getting shot. We do get a nice last samurai on him, and the fighting on the point is happening. Those are going to be Ixtra's Triads. It's just a clone, but they're still kind of distracting, right? I need to get his back point. That's going to be uber important here. So let's go ahead and call in some Vanguard birds to fly over here and do this. Get over there, go help out a little bit, and we're going to... Oh, he has his lord back now. Okay, so that's going to make this much harder. I think I've lost at this point, but we are going to get our back point back, which is good. Packmaster's broken. Those are just... Oh, those are actual ones. Okay. So the back point is good. We do get that back. So now what you would want to do is you would want to, like, maybe consolidate towards the middle. I don't have enough time, but you guys are getting an idea of how this is played, right? Normally... My build was pretty off-meta, but his off-meta build kind of countered mine because I didn't have a lot of anti-large, and Skaven normally don't go large. What he did was off-meta too, so it was like some weird mind games, right? Yeah, weird mind games, but I'm happy that we got some ground back. It was a fun match for sure. The big rats who make all the rules, yes. All right, let's get the birds to fly in there. Spears are making their way over here, and we do have some infantry, which... didn't I send some infantry over there like 10 years ago? Where the hell did they go? They're just taking 5 years to get there. Yeah, but that's GG at that point. He's too close to victory points. The value trading is close, but yeah. So our build, we didn't have anything to kill his big stuff. Like we were all designed to kill a lot of rats, but yeah, that's like what it looks like to play first person though. You're microing, you're calling in reforces, you're scheming tactics on objectives, all that kind of shit. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for tonight. I'm going to rest my old man hands, have some dinner. I'm pretty damn hungry right now, so we're going to do that. And yeah. Hopefully you guys, I forgot. No, I used the Ushopti summon. I used it in the backfield. I used it in the backfield on the Hellpit Abomination. That's how I trapped it in place. That's it for tonight, guys. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for joining. If you enjoyed the tournament on YouTube, please drop a like. It helps out quite a bit. Helps keep the old Total War engine going. Lisa from Sales, thank you so much for subscribing during the matches. Sorry, I did miss that. And if you guys are on Twitch, consider subscribing. Always helps. You sold me on the game. Looks cool. Yeah. And make sure to join our Discord if you want to play competitive, though, because it's pretty haggard. If you're not part of the community Discords, it's really multiplayer is not very good. So definitely join our communities if you want to play and talk to people and all that kind of good stuff. All right, folks, that's it for today. Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to go hang out with my lovely wife, and we'll be back tomorrow. Whole week of action, man. We're going to be streaming pretty much every day. So thank you for joining. And that is it for tonight. Cheers.